Let me dry myself a little bit, man.
Bang Bang. Was it Bang Bang?
No, I never been there. No,
No?
not even hanging out.
You know who I'm talking about?
Bang Bang, yeah, of course.
The
tattoo place, yeah.
Yeah. They turned me off. I would never go there. Never.
What
Never.
happened?
So I walk in and, you know, I'm a person that walks around.
Let me tell you very quick. It's recording.
Oh, all right.
But we don't need to leave this party. Just press record when I sit down. So the idea is that this thing is kind of 3-4 days from your mouth. So if you want to lean back or lean forward, try to keep it close and to the front. Because if we speak in the side, it kind of doesn't pick as well as, you know, speaking the front.
Okay.
When it's down. Yeah, now I hear you perfectly.
All right. So I make sure when I hear myself, I know.
But when you're talking, in some point, you kind of... You can be like that.
Yeah.
You still kind of listening, you know, the sound vibrating in your brain, so you don't realize. But I help you or you help me. I forgot what happened to me all the time. So what happened with Bang Bang?
No, so I go, I set an appointment to do the artwork on the cover up that you did. And when I get there, they like real... Everyone is just like, you know how it is when you go into a place and everyone is just like that. You're beneath them. So I'm waiting. And I think the price was $7.50 an hour.
I think it's $4.50 or something an hour.
No, it was $7.50 an hour.
They probably were trying to kick you out because they didn't want to do the code or something.
Dude, that thing was expensive. I was like, hell no, man. That's too much. Yeah. And then I think it was like $150 or $250 an hour while they do the drawing to set it up. I was like, no.
I'm glad that happened, man.
I know.
Then I got to meet you.
I know.
How are you, Chris, brother?
Good, man. Good.
All right, let's make a feature. We start this.
Okay.
Chris Fernandez, personal trainer, family man, entrepreneur, hustler,
entrepreneur.
Yes. What's up, man? How are you?
Very well. Excited.
Thank you for coming, man.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you for the invite.
Really appreciate you jumping to the idea of doing this. So for the people that don't know you, Chris being my client for the tattooing we're not sure. We were trying to make the math.
It has to be 10,
11 years or around there, right?
Well, it has to be more than 10 because my son is 10. Well, matter of fact, yeah, my son is 10 and you did the tattoo on Jess for the cover up. Then on me, you did this cover up when I first got with Jess. So it has to be 9 to 10 years.
So what do you mean when you first got to Jess?
Me and Jess, when we hooked up, is when I found you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, my tattoos provoke that effect.
Yeah.
No, I thought you guys were together when you were younger. No, because you were telling me once about like, oh man, he was so crazy in that bike. He picked me up in the motorcycle and he's just speeding through. Going
that was all when that was our first dates.
In my mind, you were like 24. I was like, yeah, makes sense when you're young.
No, man,
crazy. No, you were already like, oh shit.
No, I met her at 33.
Wow.
I was 33. Yeah.
Ooh. Crazy,
so that's what I'm saying. So it's 9-10 years we've known each other.
You see, that's part of the reason that I'm loving this idea of the podcast, because I know people, right, from my work for whatever for a long time, and you kind of know a little bit. It depends. Like I have to tell you how many hours already. Like tons of sessions, right?
Correct.
And your wife too.
Correct.
You guys been here, I don't know, a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to know a lot about you, but not really deep. You know, not like you tell me stuff when we tattooing, but I was so sure that you guys were together when you were young.
Yeah, no.
I don't know why. I was so sure that she told me that you guys were together when you were young.
No, she was young.
Yeah, she's
Remember,
still young.
I'm 11 years older than her.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah.
So she was 21 and I was 32.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 21, 32.
Cool, man. It's been a roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
It's been a ride.
She was my client.
Yeah.
And then I broke the one rule that I had with her. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I broke that rule.
She's hoping you don't keep breaking.
Yeah. No. That's it. I broke it once. I don't break rules again.
Give me 1 sec. Yeah, man. We good. So, Chris, you own a gym in the city, in Manhattan, for the people that don't know what is the city, because, you know.
Yes. Upper West Side.
Upper Website.
Upper West Side.
That's the name, right? X93.
X93 Fitness.
Where that came from? The X93.
Well, what happened is there's a story behind that where when I was planning to open up a gym, we came up with a name, and there was a workout that I had, and it was called 50 Shades of Pain.
That was by that time?
That at that time, when I had that name, it was before the 50 Shades of Grey became big, right? So I was not aware of the 50 Shades of Grey yet. So when I opened up my business, I got the LLC, I got everything, shirts, hats, I had my own symbol, I had everything, 50 Shades of Pain opened up. The gym just like exploded on the Upper West Side. And then the movie came out, 50
but you
Shades of
opened it
Grey,
with that
the
name?
book. Yeah, I opened with that name. I owned it. I had the LLC on it for New York City for gym working out. That was my name.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. So had that go for a good 2 years, and then I started coming out of the newspaper. And then when Universal Studios did the movie of 50 Shades of Grey, I don't know what happened, but apparently they bought out 50 Shades of Grey, and they bought the entity of everything of 50 Shades of.
Wow.
And they came after me. And my lawyer said, we have a good chance of winning because you own the LLC. You did everything legally. No one had it. But he said, what happens is they have more money than you. So who will win in the long run in court?
Yeah, you're going to need to
either
pay.
You switch your name now.
And pay $500 or...
No. Switch your name now, pay $50,000.
To who?
Well, in the whole process of switching my LLC, I will have to change my branding. That's my websites. That's everything that I created. That's everything I already created for the last 2 years of my business. Then I had to do that. So he said either you take a loss of the 50 grand, and you converting everything, or in the long run, you will win, but you will lose first.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, forget about it. So then me and my wife, we just started going back and forth, and X in the fitness industry, or in the world, in the word in general, is extreme. Right, it's someone who takes things to the next level. That word. That's why it's always in the Olympics, right? X-Men,
extreme brands,
X Fitness, yeah. So everything's in the X. And then where I found I was blessed to have a location on the Upper West Side, 93rd Street. I decided to put the X in front of 93. So X93, and what are we doing? Fitness. So X93 Fitness.
Oh, that's where it come from, the 93rd Street.
93rd Street. So when we franchised out, which was my idea before the COVID, would have been like X93 East Side, X93 Connecticut. So I would have just always kept that X93 and then just branched it off in that way.
You're still thinking about that plan?
Right now, no. It depends on how the outcome comes, on how the pandemic on people is treating like gyms, and what's going on with the industry, and how the government and everyone is just like shutting down the fitness industry hard.
So weird, right? It's a place that everybody should be open, and government should be giving like food passes to people who cannot afford it to go to the gym.
Correct, because it's healthy, right? Yeah. If everyone is healthy, that means we're gonna be able to survive anything that we go through, right? The body adapts, and then it builds this. It's got this amazing immune system that it gets to fight off things, right? If we're healthy, but eliminating gyms, like now we're required to do certain things that we should not be required to do, because other franchises, bigger places like Walmart, Kmart, and Target, they don't have to do that, right? But we little guys have to do that, placing the law of who's vaccinated and who's not. So we got to turn away business depending. So, it just depends. That industry, do I see a long-term it surviving? 50-50. Wow. Ask me that, before COVID, I would have said 100%. I would have said, I'm going to franchise out. But there is still a strong group of people who still believe in, fitness, and still believe in, I'm going to go work out. I'm not going to, be distracted by how the media is portraying, the gyms, because...
that's the problem, man. The media have the loudest voice, and it's so grown using it.
Yep.
it's the kind of depressing, you know, frustrating. Correct. I would say it's kind of frustrating when you see that they just use it for the money. They're thinking about the money, you know, the kind of clickbait, but for also in media, like printed media, but also TV and online are using the same recipe, just the scandal of the moment and you know, get everybody scared and keep everybody like.
Correct.
So annoying, man.
So the way I've been living my life is just I go on social media for my businesses. I go on just interacting with people, let people know who I am, and let people know that I'm still going out on the boat on the weekends if I can, and go enjoy the lake, go enjoy the water, go enjoy yourself. You know, there's still things that you could do that you don't have to be, you know, I spoke to one of my clients and she said she hasn't left the house in 3 years already.
Why?
Because of the COVID. Wow. Dude, she's so scared. And that's so sad. You know, it's just to have people that they're stuck in these apartments in New York City and they just don't want to go out because of the media has them, you know, in this bubble and they just can't get out of that. So I on my social media, I try to just like show people, yo, just go live a life. You know, tomorrow's not promised. Enjoy today. Let tomorrow's worry about tomorrow's worries. And
yeah, man,
you know, let's move forward.
It's been crazy because there is no real reason to be indoor. You know, it's actually the more outdoor you are in the sun day is better for your health and to help these virus to go away, essentially. And again, I have very little information about it because about, I would say 14 months ago, I stopped watching news about that. I got myself away from news probably like 2 years ago and my life changed so much. Like now everybody's cool. Everybody's nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before with the news, I thought like, oh, every white people is my enemy. Because I'm Latino, they hate me.
Yeah.
Like that's the shit that you want to put in your brain constantly. You know what I mean? And everything that happened, no matter, sometimes it's not that big of the deal, but they want to explode. Like a storm is coming. It's a fucking rain.
Yep.
But they make it feel like you have to be in the fucking TV, watching on the phone, watching the progress of the hurricane.
Correct.
Man, this last hurricane that came, it was a fucking joke.
Yeah,
disrespectful. At this point, I think it's disrespectful.
I know. They had deers walking the street.
Like, bro, what? You know what I mean? Like, and nobody like holding responsible for
I was actually in the swimming pool when they said
in the storm.
Yeah. Now, when I heard the thunders when we got out, you know, when you hear thunder, then you understand. Okay, I don't care. You just hear the thunder. But after an hour or two, we went right back in because a little rain came and then left.
Yeah,
went right back in, and that's it.
We were in Myrtle Beach, and I have to drive back, right? And I was supposed to arrive with the hurricane to Norwalk, so I was like trying to time my driving, you know. So I gotta instead of leaving at 4 a.m. or whatever, or 5 a.m. from there up, I gotta leave at 10, so I don't get there in the middle when it's passing or whatever. It was nothing, man. A little rain in the I don't know if something bad happened to some people in some area because sorry, you know, I don't mean disrespect. No, I mean it's that scandal, this fucking media do that keep you all freaking out. So when I stopped watching news, man, everything turns like beautiful, you know. Everything you go outside, you don't, nothing is happening. You know what I mean? You still have to read a little bit, you know.
Well, I get updated with my clients. I get updated through both my businesses on my clients or my customers. So they'll come in and they'll just bring me up to date. Or if not, I see it sometimes on the social media or I'll see it somewhere that everybody's talking about it. Then I'll ask about it. Then I'll figure out about it and then I'll just keep moving on.
Exactly.
Because I'm not going to just stay on that. You know?
It's also annoying, like, okay, put a mask. Okay, don't use a mask. Okay, put a mask. Okay, you don't need to use a mask. Then put a mask. It's like, I use it. No, then you use it to some places. People are like, what the fuck are you doing?
I know.
And then you don't use it. People are like, what for? You want to kill me? It's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Probably that's the reason your customers are at home.
Yeah, so I leave that shit in the car. So it just depends. Some days I walk with it in my hand and I just figure it out. Yeah. And I feel the atmosphere. If I see, okay, I'm not being judged. Okay. Because, they will kill you, man.
Yeah,
they will kill you. Man. So I avoid those situations as well, man.
Listen, you have to close the gym like in March 2020, right?
Yep. That was as soon as the COVID hit, that they closed all businesses was in March. When they opened other businesses, we were still shut down, and we won the lawsuit against Governor Cuomo in September.
Wow.
So we were shut down around 9 months, just shut down. So, you know, I was interviewed on Fox News. I came out on Fox News. And then after that interview, immediately I got government funding help. Which before that interview, I did not receive anything. And it's funny because they gave me government funding and help, but that out of the 9 months that what they gave me helped
1 month.
Half of a month.
Not even the month.
Half of a month. Yeah. Dude. And then they like, you know, you're going to be happy for that. And it's funny because we just received a check now that was supposed to be something for the businesses that have been affected. You know, I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, right, of revenue. I've lost that. There's no way I'm coming back up. 60% of revenue lost for over 2 years. Yeah. There's no calculation. So they said that they're doing these fundings that they for businesses. I got the check.
$3,000.
Dude, no man, $197.28.
What?
It was made out because, you know, me and my wife out joint. So it was made out to the both of us.
Both of you nice.
Dude, I don't know what we're going to do. If we're going to go to IHOP and use that or we're going to go to McDonald's because for a family of $497.28, 2 businesses, income of hundreds of thousands of loss. You know, I don't know what that is that gonna do, man.
It's crazy.
Cable bill?
No, maybe maybe yeah. But
no.
For 2 months maybe.
Nope. Because my cable bill used to be $268, and that was basics.
Fuck that city.
Yeah. So
my cable TV internet bill was like $150 forever, right? And the other day I went to pay online and I saw $250. I've been paying $250 for like 4 months, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" So I called them. They said, "Oh yeah, your promotion ended, but don't worry, we're gonna bring it down to $129 now."
Yeah.
So actually, I'm paying less than I was paying, and then because I was in the line, I tell them, "Listen, my other business is also paying like $150. Okay, let me bring that one down too." So now they did a kind of good deal for both businesses.
Oh, I did better.
So just call them.
I did better.
Oh, you did better?
Yeah, I eliminated everything.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I need internet all the time.
So all I have is internet.
Yeah, but I need a phone because, you know, I have somebody that...
No, meaning in my house, I don't have no more cable. I eliminated cable.
Yeah, no, in my house.
And all we have is internet. And the internet, then we all have is the apps. So we have Disney,
Netflix,
we have HBO, we have Netflix.
Hulu, all that.
Because what we want for...
No
TV,
news, definitely.
What news?
Nah,
for what? Dude, to go crazy over how the news is. So we stay away from that.
No, good. Yeah, we did the same in the house. Exactly the same.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I think they offer me a better deal in the house if I keep the phone in the internet and cable together. But no, like I kept the plan, but I don't have a phone connected in my house. Or I don't have. Yeah. You know what I mean? Cable boxes or anything. Like I kept the deal, but I returned the boxes, and I think we have one of the boxes.
I got the Fire Sticks.
No, yeah. But what I'm saying is just for the cable to get the internet, it was like, okay, you can pay $120 for this kind of internet, or you can pay $99 if you get internet, phone, and cable. So I was like, okay, give me that. I don't use it, but it's less. I pay a month, so that's what I'm kind of doing, you know.
Yeah.
But that was the last time I checked, probably like 2 years ago. Then I asked my wife, "Can you please call and help me with that bill?" Because, you know, I was taking care of all the other ones. So I don't know where we are right now, but I know we're paying a lot less too in the house.
Yeah.
But so, man.
So I opened up back in September after we won the lawsuit, and during that time, we was going through that. That's where we ended up deciding to open up that other business.
When you said you won the lawsuit, it was you and another business owners, or you and your family, or
no,
you and James?
So I was part of this collision group that was formed of a whole bunch of fitness gyms, and we all chipped in money through like a GoFundMe page, where this one guy ended up taking over and retaining a lawyer, and then that lawyer ended up putting the paperwork in and then filed on our behalf for all the gyms in New York City, Long Island, Staten Island, Queens,
because
Brooklyn.
For the state, right? To the governor,
correct.
Not to the mayor,
correct.
To the governor.
To the governor, correct.
Okay.
And then what happened was, let's just say it was Monday. We heard from our attorney that the judge specifically told him that if he does not go on TV by 6 p.m. and say gyms will be open, as of the next day, we will immediately have been opened and have won the lawsuit. So that day before, the judge gave him an opportunity to open the gyms before the next day's verdict.
Wow. That's a badass judge.
Yeah. So the case got wiped out, right?
Because he gave that
order. But then on TV, he looks like what?
Like a hero.
Dude, you was forced. Your hand was forced.
Yeah.
So then when we opened back up, it still was hard because you have social media and the news saying that, you're going to get COVID in the gyms. Mm-hmm. So
you open, but now people don't want to come.
Yeah. So then I spent thousands of dollars on equipment.
I saw what you were doing to keep that shit clean.
Dude, for nothing. Then 9 months later, they say that was the waste of money and time. Are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
So who reimburses me? Because those were state mandates, right? To have all that in my gym. Who reimburses me?
Probably Cuomo.
You know what I think?
Next year, yeah.
That dude
out of the
gone.
profits of the books.
No.
You send him a letter, probably he could be happy to help.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, so
that city, it was rough to the city, right? My friend owns a restaurant. He owned I think 3 restaurants, and now they have just one. They have to close the other one. And the one that stay open, it was like, okay, let's try to see how we keep this open, paying rent out of the pocket, getting loans and shit like that. Not because they weren't making any money, because it's a restaurant that you go and eat. It's not a pizzeria that you can order pizza all day long, delivery. It's like a nice Peruvian fusion kind of food in the city. Man, it was rough to them. But now they're thriving. They're doing good now that they can open. But doing good, thinking that they got in a lot of debt, But it was similar, man. They said, okay, outdoor is going to be allowed, right? Outdoor eating. So he built a front, very nice. They said next day, no outdoor eating. So he invested a lot of money. When it was like 5% to be done or something like that, they said no more outdoor eating. So now that she's standing there for no reason, nobody can use it until like, I don't know how many months later, they say, okay, again, outdoor is allowed, so they can use the porch. But I think I heard that soon the city want to start removing all those outdoor. They're kind of waiting to see how the COVID, the new Delta variant or whatever it is, hit the area now to start removing. Because in order for some restaurant to be able to get some front, they have to use city space, not the restaurant space.
Yeah, so they're taking up all New York City's parking.
Exactly.
There's no parking in Manhattan.
Parking in some areas like the sidewalks, part of the street.
Done. I had to move them away from my gym.
Yeah.
They started trying to build the restaurant
in front of your gym?
In front of my gym. Yeah, so I told the guy, I said, dude, I'll let you do that. You got to help me with my rent.
Yeah.
Because I'm paying rent for that property. Dude, and in New York City, when you lease, you are responsible for that sidewalk and 13 inches of that street.
Mm-hmm.
Or I get fined.
You have to keep it clean.
Not him, me. So, and him and I already have beef because of his stuff, dirty in my stuff, and me getting his fines. Mm-hmm. So, I stopped that one immediately. But the good thing about my gym is the only gym standing on the Upper West Side other than Equinox.
Okay.
So, and that's due to the clients that we have in our gym. We're more like a family-based thing. So because of that
and
clientele,
it's very person to person.
Very personal. I mean, most of these clients have turned into like family members of mine, as well as my other trainers. They converted their clients into family members. So because of that is why we still standing on what we produce and how we do our training and how we are as individuals. And then Equinox. Other than that, everyone else is shut down. There's no other place other than you go uptown 125th, or you go downtown like 70-something street, or like the closest other gyms that you could go to. So, and I got a good landlord. So my landlord is working with me. Even though I'm not able to pay the full rent, he's been working with me, adjusting it with me. I still owe him a ton of money. Hopefully he uses that and they could bail me out of that, and he could get all his money. Mm-hmm. But one of my biggest things that I'm dealing with now is, which he's trying to figure out too, how we could do, is those 9 months that I was shut down, I still had to pay 9 months of business rent. Mm-hmm. Dude, that's over $100,000. Mm-hmm. And he asked me, how you doing? I said, dude, I got to pay my mortgage and keep my family underneath a roof fed before I pay you for a business that's closed. I can't be there. So, I mean, he understood that I didn't pay him rent for those months. And when we were allowed to be open, that I was paying him, a portion of the rent. And then I went up to like 50%, 70%. And I'm up there in the rent again, even though we still not making a big thing. But he's working with me. But I still have that nut that I owe him of all those months.
Close, 100% close. And you see, a lot of people...
I still see that. I still see that bill every month, and I look at it and I laugh because I don't know if he's thinking I'm paying that. He's crazy because that's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy how you and then how the government expects us to survive and then gives us all more mandates.
But in a $400 check.
No, $197.28. Dude, I won't forget that.
You probably can use that check to pay the rent and buy yourself a house.
I don't know.
No, man, it's insane because I also have like two businesses, so it's two rents that the restaurant was open, but we were selling probably like 25% of normal, because it's not a kind of food that everybody normally get.
Correct.
For delivery, like everybody order always Chinese food because it's affordable. And it's tasty, it's quick and shit like that. Or everybody order pizza because also affordable. A pie is $12 and you feed a family of 4. You know what I'm saying?
A month ago, a customer said, "Why my steak costs more than the Chinese steak?" I said, because that's not steak.
And it depends what kind of steak he gets.
Well, I mean, he was comparing my steak that costs $4.89 a pound versus a whole order of steak fried rice. Dude, what? You can't compare that.
Yeah.
But
no, that's the point. We were struggling, but still, all those months that we were, that restaurant was just forced to be delivery. So it was never 100% closed. But, still, I was making little money, and I didn't want to send all my employees home because I felt like it was not fair for them having no income. So I kept them coming to do errands and put some hours and, helping in that way. And my cook stayed, my two cooks stayed, my delivery guy stayed. So I have to produce money basically just to pay them.
Correct.
That was my goal. I don't want to fight these people that have been so loyal to me since I opened. I don't want when check get a little bad, just say like, go home. I don't care. I've later figured out with my business. Like I care about that. They're being so good to me. So I was like, okay, as far as the restaurant produced money enough to pay those employees, I'm okay. Because I was sitting at home. My shop was 100% closed for, I think it was 14 weeks or something. So it was a lot less than your gym.
Yeah.
But still, 14 weeks, like 3 months. And so zero income. And
I paid my guys the whole COVID.
Yeah, man.
Every week I paid them.
It's crazy, right? So anyway, that's such a... So now you have also a kind of convenience store, deli, or restaurant, or grocery store, or supermarket. What is it exactly? How you?
Essential groceries. What I could do is I could bring you a little history before we get into that one.
That, man.
So a little history. I'm a minority, Puerto Rican Dominican. Grew up between Harlem and the Bronx by Yankee Stadium up there, Cortland. So grew up in two, different dynamics from 123rd and Broadway to the projects. It's two different ones. So, growing up, my mom and dad got divorced when I was 3 years old. So I didn't really have a dad until around 9 years old. Which when I met you, I don't know if remember, my stepfather, he was Venezuelan from Caracas.
I remember you talking.
His name is Gustavo Macmillan. His father was someone over there as well, in one of the ranks up over there. Because I remember when he used to come over here, we used to go see him, and he was one of the ambassadors for Venezuela.
Oh, cool.
That was my stepfather's father.
Uh-huh.
So
your step grandfather.
Yeah.
Is that even real?
So during the years that he was, my stepdad, before he ended up getting deported back to Venezuela, he raised me from...
Oh, he got deported?
He got deported. So he raised me from like the age of 9 to 13. Yeah, I'll say 9 to 13, going into 14. But between those years, 5 years, he's the one that instilled the man I am today. I would say between him and this is funny, between him and this other man that was in my life who was one of the biggest drug dealers in the Bronx.
Fuck.
Right.
But he was in your life like as a friend, neighbor?
He was in my life, and he took me under him as almost a son.
Okay.
So
it's a little flight.
I know. I know.
Like a border flight.
Dude, no, that's those are the gnats.
Oh, gnats. Oh,
those
I hope it's not from here.
Yeah.
I hope it came when we opened the door or stuff, but
yeah. Wait, I got lost.
Yeah, so no, you that one of the big drug dealers of the area.
Oh yeah, so he was a big influence in my life as well. But it's funny because he was a smart dude, man. Like this dude he was building his empire, and he built the empire, and then took that whole empire, and eventually later built legitimate companies. Like he built and got out the game, right? He was one of the ones that got out, and today he's still out, surviving and living well off of those legitimate companies he created. So he always showed me and always told me, you know, that I had the opportunity that he didn't, where I could take the street life and incorporate it into the corporate world. And now I have best of both worlds. Mm-hmm. So if you entwine, you know, those two worlds together, there's no one that could stop you, because you could call bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know, you know what it is. You know who's bullshitting, you know who's not. But the only thing is you gotta know how to adapt as well. You have to know how to be how spoken. You have to be well spoken, right? You have to learn that walk on that side, and then incorporate that into there. So I've done that my whole life, you know, and because of him teaching me that, and because of my stepfather teaching me, you know, what it is on how to be a man, how you provide for your family no matter what. You know, even during this COVID, it was funny because I own these companies, but when I saw that I had to shut down that day, Friday that March, I forgot what, I think it was March 13th, I shut down. That night, I was already on the phone looking for a job to do whatever I had to. Saturday morning, I was even going to go work as Amazon, as a delivery driver. Mm-hmm. Immediately the next day, because income has to come in. Yeah. Dude, you have to pay those bills. That mortgage doesn't stop. You know, all those people think that, you know, when they say that they're going to stop the mortgage, yeah, they stopped it, but it's going to get piggyback on in 6 months, and you got to pay like $20,000 or whatever your mortgage is in that 6 months end that in one shot. Yeah. Dude, I don't want to get into that. I'm not going to be able to afford that. I'm going to be behind on my mortgage. Mm-hmm. And once you do one late payment on a mortgage, which I learned as a mortgage broker, that stays on your record forever. Mm-hmm. As one, and you always will have to explain why you was late on one mortgage payment. So I was already, you know, proactive that next day and ready to do whatever I have to do to, you know, keep my family living the way they're living now, you know, no matter what, even if I had to be a driver or what. So, you know, that's where I guess, you know, it just doesn't matter what you do as occupation, right? As long as you be able to provide as a family. Yeah. So I always tell people, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're happy and you're able to provide. But if you feel like you always want to do something more, then you got to step out and do it. But you got to step out and do it. Right? Yeah, you can't talk about it. You can't say all the negative aspects of what could happen. So then just forget about it. Move on to the next thing or whatever you want to do. So growing up like that, I got into the security industry, and I ended up loving that, right? And during that, I ended up moving
meaning
security, doing like security guard work. Okay. Ended up doing like in retail stores doing security guard work, residentials doing security guard. I started out at a supermarket doing security guard work for a private cop. And it was off the books. I was 15 years old. Oh, wow. You know, I was doing that. And then that's when I started moving. You know, I took everything that I learned in the streets which will leave that back then. And then I started taking that into this industry, and I moved up in that. Then I started, went into that, ended up becoming a supervisor within that same company, and then ended up working for another company called Initial Security, ended up being an account manager for this company. And by the time I think I was 20 years old, I was an account manager. I had 190 employees. I was running 1.5 million revenue a year, and I controlled all the retail security and the New York City region, which was like all retail, Bath and Body, Target, Walmart. I controlled all the security that went to those places that dealt with my account Initial Security. I did that for a good 2 years. And that's me just taking the corporate world and just, taking it to my advantage, right? And during that time, is where I ended up hanging out with my boss, who was taking pilot license, and he used to bring me along. And what happens? I ended up learning how to fly a plane because I'm hanging out with my boss, right?
So cool.
So that's, and I'm turning 22, and all this already has happened, so it just depends on how you think life is and what you think is owed to you, where is nothing. Right? Nothing is owed to you no matter what. I grew up without a dad. I grew up with, two, I could say, figures of what a dad should be, right? And how it should be, but never really had that commitment. But I didn't use that as a negative point of saying, oh, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. You just got to be positive and just keep moving forward no matter what negative comes at you.
It's so crazy, man, that I always mention in this podcast, a friend of mine, Rembert, that recommended a book to me called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or Poor Dad, Rich Dad. And it's about how this guy, and sorry, I know I repeat this shit all the time, and I always get it wrong. That's the worst part. But anyway, it's about how his own father, he called it Poor Dad, because even though he's a professional, educated man that, went to college, graduated, got his master's or whatever, and got a career, out of that, still his mindset is like, you have to go get educated, get a steady job, live until you retire, and live out of that, right? The other dad was his best friend's dad, but he called him also his dad, the rich dad. He was this guy that was hustling, but legally, like, whatever money he was making, he was investing in something that produced some more money, that helped him to save so much to buy a company. And then he didn't manage himself out there like with luxury or spend nice cars and stuff like that. He just take the money and invested in something else. So when his own father, the one he called Poor Dad, he was like always struggling, like, man, I need a raise in my salary. I need to do this to be able to keep providing for my family. The other guy that seems to don't have so much, he was actually saving all money and investing to a point that then he got a bunch of businesses and a lot of income and became super rich and successful. So he was saying that he's fortunate to see the two worlds and learn from the two worlds. And it's similar to what you're saying, right? Like, you got your home education with your father, your stepfather, the guy, but then the other.
Yeah,
we don't know. He's calling him the rich dad, poor dad, the other guy from a lot of street education that help you so much to become who you are. Pretty much another your dads, right?
Correct.
It's crazy how, and also it's like as I was mentioning, for me, it's important through this podcast to, if somebody is right now listening, right, they find the podcast for some reason, somebody recommended, or they just step on it, you know what I mean, found it, and they start listening, but they're like, man, I wish a day I can succeed in what I'm doing, or fuck, I'm in this place that I'm doing this job that I don't like, and I'm not making any money, or probably they don't even have a job and they're living in a bad lifestyle, whatever, right? Some people feel like this is what I am and I don't have ways out of here, because this is what I am, and I'm surrounded by this environment that I'm fucked pretty much. But some people can see you now, you know what I mean? You own 2 businesses, a beautiful home, family, two kids, right?
Correct. Three
kids. Sorry, bro. For some reason, I remember you boying together. I don't remember.
Yeah, 3.
One, sorry.
Yeah, it's 3. My boy, one before my marriage.
Oh, one before Jesse?
Yeah, one before
Jesse. That's why I cannot remember that one. Yeah, it was
man. A one-night stand that turned into a life commitment.
Okay. That's what I don't remember.
I did good for 33 years.
Awesome, man.
32 years. 31 years. I did good for 31 years.
Meaning?
From a one-night stand, I ended up having my son.
How old is he now?
He's 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. But yeah, you overcame your past, right? You didn't just sat there and say, "Fuck, my father left me," and
correct.
Now this guy, I'm fuck here. Like, correct. You actually went and found first a job that for many people will be like, "Oh, they offered me that job. I'm not gonna do that shit. Correct. Why would I do that shit?" Because you never know, right? Like, I mean, you can see where you are right now, how long you've been in this path, and how far have taken you, or if you're happy, you feel like you're going in the right way, in the right direction, stay there.
Correct.
If you feel that's not the right way, you might have been taking wrong decisions or not taking opportunities.
Correct.
So now when an opportunity shows as a, let's say, supermarket, back pocket or whatever,
correct,
you feel that's not, you don't know because you're already proving that you're in a place that you took wrong decisions to be. Just start something and be your best and learn.
So what I try to teach my son, and I try to instill this in his brain and my daughter too, where no matter where you at in life, you're never above anyone, right? Mm-hmm. That in general means you go in a company, you start at the bottom of that company and you work your way to the top. So you understand what it is that bottom guy is doing, and you need to make that guy happy. That guy is happy, then you're happy. Mm-hmm. You understand? So I try to explain that to my kids where, you know, in my gym and the restaurant that I'm at, I grab mops, I sweep. And even if I see one of my workers sitting down, I see them just sitting down, I know they were working. I go around, I sweep, I vacuum. I'm doing something. I'm being proactive. Yeah. I want them to see that, you know, I'm the owner there, but I'm also doing that. So I don't care what company I have. And to the point that I own, let's say, God willing, I'm going up to $1 billion one day and I own the biggest company. I'm going to be doing the same thing because you have to show others, you know, what you expect. Yeah. And no one is above everyone. You know, we all should be treated equally. I never be like, oh, that's my worker. I always introduce people as Anthony, you know, or, you know, because I don't see it like that. And I would never see it like that. You know, I understand where I am in life, but I understand we all together, man. We can't make things move without everyone doing their part.
Yeah, yes.
You know, so I try to tell people that, and it's true. If you're happy where you at, then good. Just continue doing what you're doing. Yeah. Everyone is not meant to be an entrepreneur.
That's actually kind of the goal. No, that's actually kind of the goal. Be happy with what you're
everyone,
doing.
Listen, when I signed up for entrepreneurship, if somebody would have told me when, you know, you think of entrepreneur, right? Everyone thinks of, oh, yeah, you pick your own hours. They didn't tell me you pick your own hours out of 20.
Yeah.
You know, you pick 20 out of 24.
Yeah.
Because 4 of those you sleep in, the other 20 you work.
When
right?
you're lucky.
No one told me that. You know, no one told me that, you know, they said you get to go on vacation whenever you want. Yeah, you can't go more than 7 days away anywhere.
Yeah.
And just be okay with both your companies running smoothly.
It's smoothly.
I don't care who you are. You know, you always got to be proactive in that. Yeah. So, you know, it's hard, man. And then no one tells you who's going to pay your bills next month and when the government is telling you can't work.
Yeah.
So people feel like entrepreneurship is not easy.
People feel you're entrepreneur. You own your business. You're relaxing now.
Dude, I you know, it's funny. I'll take off my hat, but I got like all my gray hairs are there and I keep it at a 1 and shave it all down because, dude, it's bad.
Yeah, man.
Do I stress? So, but I don't stress on it no more. You know, I did the first 5 years as an entrepreneur because as an entrepreneur, you know, if you don't work, you don't get paid. Real simple. So, and even if you have employees, 9 times out of 10 is small companies is the owner doing more because they have to submit more on paying the bills, right? You got overheads no matter what.
And you always have to pay everybody else first before you.
Everyone gets paid before I get paid, you know, and then once I do that, then I start paying. I thank God, you know, I've never had to not do that, you know, or say, yo, can you wait a day or two? If my guys don't get paid, it's because they didn't do payroll the day they supposed to do payroll and then they decided to do it 2 days later or a day later. That's because they live in a good life. But if they do it, I'm doing it that same day, you know, because I understand, you know, they need to get paid. They work the certain hours, no matter what, no matter if I got paid or not. So I understand that. So we go back into that. So I took that security industry and I ended up getting lucky and I ended up getting into a position where I ended up becoming a Bureau of Prison officer. So I was working for the federal government. And during that time working for the feds, I also was doing side bodyguard work for like...
How old were you by that time? 24,
23. 23, and I was also doing bodyguard work, security work, detail work for Diana Ross. During that time. During that time also, I did some side work for like DMX, Little Bow Wow, through a contact that I had.
Were you already like in the bodybuilding and stuff? Were you already exercising?
No, so it's funny because during that time...
You showed me some pictures of you younger and you weren't fit at all.
Yeah, I wasn't fit, but I was nuts.
Okay.
Right? I wasn't fit, but I was just nuts.
Yeah, you still have that streak on you.
Yeah, I had that retarded strength. Like when I, it's funny because I did try to start working out when I was 20 or 19, and I remember going into the gym. I went to Bally's in the Bronx, Bay Plaza Mall. It was $20 a month. I went in there and I went into the weight room and I saw people working out. I saw all the big dudes working out. And I'm looking around going, shit. And I only could curl like 15-pound dumbbells. So I felt intimidated then, right? I tried it for about a week or two and I said, fuck this shit.
Yeah, because in the beginning, you know, all these people carrying big weight.
You know, nobody took the time out to come over to me and explain to me, you know, what needed to be done. That's why when I see that in gyms, I go up to people and I try to guide them, even if I'm working or not working, you know, because I never want to have someone experience that experience. You know, I wish somebody would have came up to me and, you know, would have guided me in the right direction.
Yeah, that's my constant experience in the gym. Yeah. I go there with a lot of enthusiasm.
So what you got to do is you got to hire a trainer, man.
I try, man. I spoke about that last time in the other podcast. Listen, 3 times and suck.
Yeah, that's why. It's
and
hard.
you invite me over to your gym. Like, come over, I teach you, but fuck it. You always put in the way that
no, I'm going to make you cry.
Yeah, so fuck
yeah, because you made me cry on my two rib tattoos, man. That thing hurt. I'll never do that again.
So you understand why I don't want to come there now.
I know. So during when I was in that lifestyle of law enforcement, certain things happen in life where I took a left turn. Dark things happen. Let's fast forward that because that would be another segment. 10 years later, I ended up working. I ended up going into a gym. So I was working out during those dark years. I ended up doing powerlifting and bodybuilding. I ended up getting into powerlifting because I wanted to release certain rage that just like was within me, and I felt like, you know, working out. A friend of mine was doing it and he was like, yo, listen, you work out, believe me, after the workout you're just gonna feel like, you know. So back then I used to take that to the Hennessy. Like I'll drink Hennessy, or I'll drink some beers, or I'll drink some, you know, whiskey or something. That's what I used to do. So what I did was I started going into the workouts with this guy who invited me, and we started working out. And I remember, this is where I'm going to tell you I got retarded strength. I started working out with him, and I remember sitting down on the bench. They were doing shoulder press, and the other group of guys he was working out with was another group of like 6 guys. And I don't think they wanted me to go in there because I've never worked out. These dudes been working out. Right? So fuck, they're gonna be carrying out a new dude who doesn't know shit and can't lift up shit, and they lifting 500-600 pounds.
Probably with active too and shit.
The fucking dude hands me 70-pound dumbbells to do shoulder press.
Fuck.
So I look at it and I go, I can't fucking lift it, but you know what? I'm not gonna fucking say no. All right, I'll grab it. I grab that shit and I hold it. They help me put it to my knees. They help me bring it up, and they help me lift it. So if this is what the fuck they want to do, fuck it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to get out of it, right? Ooh. So one of the guys wanted to get me out the group. So I remember I worked out hard that whole day, and I refused to give up, man. That's just not in my character, right? I can't give up. So the next day, I remember we was doing a back workout, and we was doing deadlifts. And I remember they went from 225 pounds, 315 pounds, then to 405 pounds. Damn. The only thing I can say, the reason my back is strong is because during my young age as well, during all those occupations I had, I always also did construction work, demolition work. So that's a lot of physical work. So my back has been destroyed and built up, right?
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God, right? So I remember doing deadlifts with them, and I remember the guy who passed me the 70 pounds for the shoulder press, he grabbed 405 pounds, and he repped it for like 3 reps. And I was so pissed off and determined to beat this guy that I grabbed it and repped it for 10.
Damn.
So that was, so he was impressed and everybody else was impressed, right? And I thought I could have, you know, it was okay. I did it. I didn't hurt my back. And that's when I figured out, shit, deadlifts is my strongest aspect. You know, I could do that. And then me and that guy ended up becoming very good friends that I consider him my brother.
Wow.
I would die for this dude as I know he would die for me. His name is Chino. Right now, you know, he's serving some more prison time now because certain people in life sometimes think that the fast life, you know, that fast money is great. Mm-hmm. That is not a great outcome because it's either going to end up in the grave or you're going to end up in jail. Yeah. So those are the only two outcomes that I try to tell people.
Or, God forbid, you get out alive and not in jail. You're going to have to be looking over your shoulder and nervous and not sleeping well. And now you have to live in a shitty place because you don't want to show up. So it's like, it's not really worth it.
Yes, it's not worth it, right? So I could prove to people that you could make that same income and more, and I could drive, not worrying about the cops going to pull me over and not worrying about anything or anyone shooting me or me looking over my back. 100%. I tell you this now. We didn't know. I had a group of people that we used to hang out with, and we thought they were friends. But apparently, behind our backs, I found out they actually thought I was a drug dealer because of the lifestyle I have, and they cannot understand that I'm a personal trainer, and it came from the gym. They can't understand that. What people don't understand is it doesn't matter your occupation, right? If you put everything on pen and paper. And once you do that, it becomes alive. And you got to just follow that, right? Like you got to set goals. You got to follow them. You got to set achievable goals.
No, tell me about it.
People think they're going to go from making, you know, $5 to making $3,000 an hour because they
not different. What they're doing.
Well, they crazy. You got to do stepping stones. That's why I say you got to move up in the ladder. So I learned that, you know, in life. And I also learned in life during those jobs too, that, you know, a lot of people are for themselves, especially in corporations, right? Like the reason why I went and became an entrepreneur was because I was working. Oh, so let me get into it. So I've done bodybuilding and powerlifting. I go into this gym in the Bronx, New York Sports Club, and I saw a group of guys go around this one guy who starts deadlifting 405 pounds, but he got the whole gym watching him. And I'm there with my cousin and we're working out. And I'm going, what the fuck? Why is everybody watching him? Like, that's only 405 pounds. But I just came from another group of guys who we doing 900 pounds.
Damn.
Right? So that's the team that I just left. So when I see 400, dude, that's what we warm up with. Right? So it was funny that I saw that. So when after he does that, I go walk over there and I just do a set of 10. And everybody fucking just looks at me, right?
And that guy hates you.
And he's just looking at me. Yeah, he's just looking at me. And I'm just like, all right. With no belt, no nothing. This guy strapped on. He had the straps. He had the outfit. He had the whole setup. Yeah, he had everything. And I just walked over there in my Timberland. I had Timberlands on with cargo shorts and a tank top. Went over there, just grabbed it with my hands and ripped it out for 10. Put it back down. And went back onto the other side because I was doing chest. And there I was benching 505 for chest. So the manager walks up to me and he says, yo, you want a job? So I go, what you mean I want a job? So he goes, yo, do you really want a job here as a trainer? I really think you could do, you know, you could be a trainer. I go, nah, I don't want what a trainer makes. So he tells me, you know, trainer can make 100,000 or over. So I was like, wait, what? So, you know, I started getting intrigued by that. I said, all right. So right there, I walked into his office. I filled out the application, went home, went online, filled out the application. And then I got called within 3 days, but he didn't call me. Another gym in Manhattan called me on 95th Street in Broadway. They called me. And when I went over there, I met with this guy
from the same family?
From New York Sports Club, yeah. So when I went over there, I met this guy named Manny. And man, me and this guy hit it off. You know, I got there 2 hours before my interview time because when you go on an interview, you want to get to the location at least an hour and a half before. Yeah. dude, just wait. Don't show up on time. Don't show up sweating to an interview. You want to be dressed. Yeah, you want to be dressed, and you want to have your resume. You want to have everything in your hand, you know? Because I've done interviews my whole life on people, and people show up with no resume. They show up like they just got there. They sweating, you know? I'm like, dude, man, this is so bad, you know? So he saw that I was there 2 hours. He actually gave me the interview 2 hours earlier. We ended up hitting it off. He ended up giving me the job. And he said, you rather work here than the Bronx because here you can make more money.
No good.
So I was like, wait, that's even better. So long story short, I actually started working with him, and my hours, because as a personal trainer, which people don't understand, is you don't get paid.
At least that you work.
Until you start training people. So if you don't have a client, you don't get paid. So, but you have to build a clientele base. So I started working from 5 a.m. to 12 a.m.
How old are you now? 27? No more. 10 years later. 24.
No, I was hold on. So I left at 20. I was 30. I'm 33 now.
So you already with Jess?
I was already. No, I met Jess when I started with that gym. I was in that gym maybe, I think 9 months when I met Jess. I was in that gym 9 months. It's funny because when I got interviewed for the gym to work as a personal trainer, check this out. In HR, human resource, I've never been told that this is okay. It is okay for you to have an affair with your client. Dude, I said, wait. Excuse me? He said, is it okay? He said, I'm saying it's okay for you guys to have sex with your clients, but you guys cannot have sex with other employees.
Oh, shit.
I said, what the fuck is this? Yeah. Right? Oh, excuse me. So everybody in there is excited, right? They're going, oh man, I'm going to have sex. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. The minute you have sex with a client, that's the minute that income stops. How you
At
build
least that income?
That income, yeah. But dude, the industry is that way. That's why trainers don't become successful, or they just doing it wrong, but they sleeping with a lot of their clients.
Wow.
It's just that's the industry. And I did not, that's why I said I broke that rule one time with Jess, and I made sure she wasn't my client when I did that. After that, I told her that she just lost all her sessions. That was funny. It was funny. But they actually told me that when I signed up for New York Sports Club. So he gave me the opportunity. I started working there, and I remember working hours from 5 a.m. to 12 a.m. And not making nothing, going home on the train, you know, just trying to build up my clientele business. But I went from making, I believe, $100 a week, because we did get paid for cleaning. So as long as you cleaned, you'll get $100 a week, right? If you clean a certain amount of hours per day, per week. So I remember that. And I remember going from that $100 a day to within 7 months, my income was at $90,000. And I remember by the end of the year, I cleared $105,000 on the clientele base that I built. But I worked, man.
Of course.
You know, I worked all those hours, like people, and no one gave me anything. That was me walking up to people, you know, being proactive, trying to tell people what they're doing wrong. People watching me work out, people understanding, okay, he's doing it right. He's training right. You know, I'm getting clients from recommendations. You know, I'm doing my studying. I graduated. I have NASM from National Academy of Sports Medicine. You know, I was doing everything that you're supposed to do, physically and mentally, in that occupation, right? So I'm putting
the war and
I'm putting everything into that. I'm not sleeping at night. I'm studying books. I'm going to sleep listening to because I learned from a doctor, a client of mine, that most doctors, when they're gonna take their exams, what they do is they have everything on these cassette tapes back then, and they'll go to sleep with it, listening to it, because their brain absorbs so much when you're sleeping. Dude, I was doing that with my exams. And I remember this exam was, you know, you can never pass, right? With 100. And I remember I got 99. I'm trying to figure out what was that one thing that I didn't get, you know, from passing this hard exam. And it was 10 of us that took it, 2 of us passed. Out of 10, 2 of us passed.
Wow. And
the 2 of us passed, we passed with high numbers. That one thing that I failed was a question that it didn't ask me, how you renew. And that wasn't in the books on how I renew my certificate. So that was the question that I got wrong because I guess I didn't get lucky, and I didn't get lucky and figure out which one. But so that shows on how determined I am. So I closed out within 3 years in that gym 2 times NASDAQ as top trainer for the company itself.
Wow.
For New York Sports Club, meaning Philly, New York Sports Club, Washington, D.C., New York Sports Club. Wherever there was a New York Sports Club, they considered it as one unit. I was top 3 always for 2 years.
Wow.
So it was me, this other guy named Mel, and this other girl, I think her name was Jessica. All 3 of us, we was the only ones. So we was able to close NASDAQ twice, which was amazing. Then they changed another company took over corporate, and they changed their protocol where they changed trainers were making 65% of the income and the gym will make the rest. They switched it. Trainer makes 45% and gym was taking like 55%. Dude, what? And I just bought a house. You telling me your top employee that you're gonna switch my income because of revenue thing
from how much it was before the cut?
I was making 65%.
65, 35 the gym, and they switch it to 45 for you.
Yeah, so they brought me down from 65%. They were bringing me down between 45 to 55%, depending the week.
Okay.
On how much I did during the week. I would have always maxed out at 55%. But the thing is, wait, what? That's 10% of my income going down. That's huge, man.
That's money, man.
And my house that I just bought was solely on my income, because when my wife was pregnant, I wanted to raise my kids up in Jersey, right? I didn't want to raise them up
in Bronx area.
And not saying that the Bronx is bad. It's I couldn't afford the good places. It's too expensive. People don't understand that, dude. I could get so much property for the money in New Jersey versus New York. So and when I say that, I rather pay a little bit more in taxes and get a better school system where I don't have to send for private school, because that's even more money. So you got to try to take a lot of things into factor. So we, after looking at the homes in the Bronx, we ended up going to Jersey, and that's why we ended up going to Jersey. We couldn't afford New York. New York was just way too expensive.
It is.
So you're gonna tell me that I'm gonna get a 10% decrease on my income? You crazy? So me and my wife ended up deciding we're gonna take a chance and just take all my clients with me and go. I never signed a waiver or disclosure with New York Sports Club, so I'm gonna take all my clients with me and just open up my own gym. So during that time, I was talking about it, and God, man, the next day I talked about it. The client that I was interviewing, she was a real estate agent. She had a property right up the block. The property that she had was in the same building. My client was the chairman of the board committee.
Oh, shit.
Who spoke to the landlord on my behalf, lower the rent to what I could afford. And I was in that within 30 days of me and Jess talking about it.
How long ago was that that you opened that gym?
2012.
2012. So, yeah.
2012.
9 years. You were already my client back then?
Yep.
So when I met you, you were still in the New York Sports?
In New York Sports Club. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Then I opened up that gym. What's funny was I was telling the story to somebody today was, being a minority, being a Latino, Hispanic, right? American Latino minority Hispanic. I just want to make sure that's all together because I got denied first time business loan because of that.
Wow.
If I was...
Let's say that.
Well, the reason he told me that was because his boss told him that, not knowing he was my friend. He was my client as well as my friend.
His boss. His boss or the guy?
I went to a bank to get a loan, but I went through my client, who's also my friend.
Okay, so
and
his boss told him.
Yeah, he runs the bank. He was the general manager of the bank. So I went straight to the general manager to process my loan. So when he processed it and all that, his boss didn't know his relationship with me. He just thought I was just a regular client of the bank. So I was told that if I would have been Dominican, like pure Dominican, born over there, I would have got the loan. If I would have been Chinese, born in China or Japan, if I was an immigrant in general going for this loan, I would have got it, right? But because I'm American based, right?
So you don't count anymore as a minority.
It's not. It doesn't really count towards the minority.
Minority. Yeah.
What? Wow. The hell, yo. So he told me, he's like, yo, dude, I know you're not gonna say anything because that's my job. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it, man. But you know what? Now my eyes are open, and now I know what I have to do. So me and my wife said, you know what? Screw this. It's either we lose the house, be together in a shelter in Jersey, or we gain everything. So during that process, I've learned on how to do credit, right? Mm-hmm. Where credit is everything. People don't understand that. Like, having great credit is the most important thing you could possibly do, because that gives you an advantage over a lot.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So very important that you say that right now, because a lot of people think like, I have cash and I'm saving my cash and I got this. The cash doesn't
exist.
It's good for an emergency, maybe, or something. But in the real American system, at least, you need to have credit, man.
Correct.
And the bigger your credit and the bigger, let's say the bigger your income is, gonna be bigger the line of credit that you can get, and that's why you can really do something. Because, for example, a house in the United States, average in this area, at least, average is like what, $350,000, $400,000. You gotta see and save $400,000. You know how long it's gonna take you? I mean, if you make a lot of money that you can save the cash after paying taxes and all of that.
Correct.
Good for you. I cannot make $400,000. I cannot. I don't know. In some point, I can. If I try hard, maybe I can grow that, and save it. But we're talking about the real ways to operate. You'd rather do all your things right, build your credit strong, show your income.
Correct.
And apply for credits.
Correct.
And you're going to be in debt, but it's how it is, You'd rather pay, let's say, $2,000 a month for your house and your car and whatever, your house bills. Let's say that your mortgage is like $1,400 and whatever. I don't know. You'd rather use $2,000 a month and you live in a nice place and all of that, than trying to wait until you save $450,000 to buy a house cash.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So definitely credit is very important. Also, when you own businesses, you can save money and remodel your business. What would you do that shit? If you can get a loan, remodel your business, discount the loan from your taxes.
Yep.
And reinvest the money into the business.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Or open another one.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Or your merchant or your equipment can be better or whatever it is.
And sometimes
instead of fucking saving that money,
and sometimes that loan is just being proactive on what's about to happen the next 2 months.
Exactly.
On income that you still got to pay your employees. So you taking out a loan to pay your employees.
Yeah.
And then you pay back that loan because you just didn't want your employees not to get paid.
Exactly. Man.
So, so what we did was, the way that worked was she took out 10 credit cards and I took out 10 credit cards and our separate names in less than 30 days. Because then they don't know about each other.
Exactly. If you
so
wait
they
too
just
long,
see all these credit runs, but they don't know we just got approved by all of them.
No, but they don't have time because it takes a couple of days, a few days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or something like that for them to report.
They
the
do
bureaus.
not to do the reports, but they do see the hard hits. Most of the ones that we were doing was hard hits because we was already getting approvals. Mm-hmm. So we ended up doing that. And what we did was we just maxed out both our credit lines, all the credit cards, and we built the whole business from scratch up, So then, we was fortunate enough that I took my whole income that now I'm earning 100% of what I should have been getting in this greedy gym that just try to suck the life out of me. Now I'm making the whole 100%. They changed their policy and procedures. They couldn't come after me because they just didn't have no waivers.
And it was a dirty move.
That was a dirty move. And then they made all the other trainers who's going to stay on sign waivers on the clauses when I left. Yeah. But dude, that was dirty, man. How can you do that to somebody? I would never do that to anyone, God willing, I have the power that I could have 1,000 employees. I'm not going to do that. I always try to, be in a competition like with a Google or Bloomberg. Those two places, if you ever heard of any employee working, they never say anything bad about those two places. You'll never hear a Google employee or Bloomberg employee speak bad about those companies. They never leave. Dude, that's the type of businesses you want to build, because that's the type of employees you want. And that's why those two owners are as successful they are, because they know how to treat people. You know, they know how to do it. You know, I don't know. Amazon is moving up, but that's just because the world is just buying everything on it. I know I can't stop buying off of that thing. So easy.
That convenience.
It's just convenient. I know, man, dude.
So fucking.
If I had to go to the store, I wouldn't buy it as much, you know. But
like everything that you see for the podcast, everything, I would say probably 90% I bought on Amazon. Just a couple of things I bought locally that I didn't even know they had some of the stuff that I bought on Amazon. Yeah. Then I went local, like. Local meaning to a Best Buy. It's not like a family-owned, because we don't have family-owned businesses that sell microphones or cameras.
Anymore. We used to.
But that's what I'm saying, you know. So at this point, it's like, okay, do I buy from Walmart or Amazon? Who give a fuck at this point?
I know.
Walmart fuck everybody, local businesses. So I don't care hurting the business. I know. I'm not even hurting. I'm not taking a little. I know. You know what I mean? Mark on the business. But at that point, now it become okay. What is more convenient for me? Correct. You know what I mean? Prices are the same. Sometimes even better than Amazon. A couple of things I buy in Walmart all the time, like paper towel and stuff like that. Because, you know, when you need it for work, you just go and grab it. Yeah. Says, oh, can you go and get it for me or whatever? It's easy. It's local. You don't need to wait next day. But with Amazon, man, in many cities, Amazon delivers the same day. Oh, I know. Probably in New Jersey they will do, because they have the big storage place there. I'm sure in some areas in New Jersey they probably will do it. They do it. Here, no. Here is next day the fastest, but still, bro. I know. Next day is like ridiculous fast, man. Correct. So, but yeah, it's not family. So, who cares if you fuck a little bit that big gym, right? It's a big corporation that we're trying to fuck you, actually. Correct.
So when we ended up doing very well. During that time, I've gone through a couple of trainers during that time.
Yeah, let me sorry to interrupt a little bit, just because what you're saying is important. So, ideal. You don't use your credit cards to open a business because interest is super high. It's like 24 to almost 30% of fucking interest. That's a lot of money.
So what we did was all the money we made, we made sure I paid my bills, and that shit paid off our debt. Yes. So I think it took us 2 years to be debt free from a business. We did not buy shit, but then
you get to enjoy life. No,
but then we overdid it.
Meaning?
Because once we got out of that business then we said, you know what? Let's just live a little bit of life. And then I have been trying to, I guess, regroup a good 10 years that I missed out on life. And, you know, I always tell my wife, you know, right now we were like, damn, we shouldn't have did that. We could have bought buildings. We could have bought this. We could have bought that. And I say, you know what? But we have the memories that are priceless, right? Yeah. And we still enjoying these things that I bought, like these, you know, I got a boat, bought an RV. But that's because I want to get away, man. I want to just get away. And I love the water. I want to get on the water. I do that every weekend. I haven't been doing that now because due to the COVID, and it's almost destroyed my gym, as well as, you know, I'll get into the new business that I opened. But I just like to be free, man, and I like to be in the woods. So that's just me, and I want that. If I could afford it, why not? And people go on vacations, travel the world. I do this.
Yeah, and for somebody like you, that you have to wake up at 4 a.m. to go to the city. Yep. You have to drive to the city before the traffic get crazy.
And it's crazy. Sometimes I hit traffic at 5 a.m. Imagine people be like, "Oh, you don't hit traffic." I be like, "I'm in traffic at 5 a.m." Taking pictures and telling my client, "Listen, I'm gonna be late. Look." Yeah, and you just stand still
at 5, right? You open.
I open at 5. Yeah. So it'd be me or my other trainer that will be there.
What time you close that business?
We now been closing. It depends if we don't get no clients. Yeah, 7 or 8 o'clock. We used to close at 10 or 11.
Imagine that shit.
Yeah. So now we've been closing between 7 and 8 now.
Just the fact that you have to get in your car and drive to the city, fuck that, man. Correct. It's so annoying. I do it once every 5 months, and I'm annoyed as fuck. Like, you have to go to a concert tonight, and I'm so like, man.
Yo, you're not understanding. I go now. I do that drive now, and did this Manhattan part here. Now I got to go back onto the Hudson, drive further into the Lincoln Tunnel, to drive across the Lincoln Tunnel, hit that traffic that's every day around 1 o'clock, to now go to my other business.
To the other business.
And I stay there and I close that business. I was closing at 9. Then I said, you know what? I can't do this. I'm too old, man. Yeah, so I started closing at 8, and now I brought it down to 7. Dude, I got to close it at 7.
Yeah, no.
Because if not, I'm brain dead. Man, I'm just too, it's just, I got too many. I got over, 13 years as an entrepreneur working, these crazy hours. It's taking a little toll now. So now I'm slowing it up.
Man, I identify so much with all that you're saying. Yo,
it's crazy.
I haven't buy a boat or anything like that because I don't like the water. I like it, but not that much. But I always try to escape. Like, okay, let's go to the beach for a couple of days. Let's go to Texas to visit friends for a couple of days. Let's go to whatever. I need now to escape because it was the same. Like, you work so hard to get to a point in your life that then you realize, like, okay, come on, bro.
Yeah, no.
Enjoy a little bit of what you have done. Enjoy your family. Rest. You cannot keep up that rhythm because what would you do in it for? For one day get a fucking heart attack and everybody crying memory that you miss. You miss.
And then all that money is going where? What?
Yeah,
you didn't get
all
to
the
do
money,
what?
all the falls, satisfaction, anything.
All those sleepless nights, all those headaches, all those gray hairs for what?
Exactly.
So I'm enjoying it.
Good, man.
And I'm teaching my kids on how they got to work hard to enjoy it too.
Yeah.
But I try to explain to them that though, because I know what it is. I was telling one of my workers yesterday. What's today? Yesterday I was with one of my workers, and he's a cook, and I showed him a Slim Jim and a beef jerky, and I said, listen, there was one time in my life the Slim Jim was my dinner with nacho cheese and bread, and I cooked it with a lighter. You'll cook the Slim Jim, and that was my meals, man.
What? For
a certain part of the time of my life, and look where I'm at now. So I'm trying to tell him too, because he just came from Dominican Republic.
Okay.
He's just here he's here now, going to college here now. So, his mother works for me. I love them to death, man. These people are amazing. It's hard to find people who have good heart and then take your interest into their heart as well. So they got so much great intentions that if I ever do become rich, like I blow up, dude, that business I'm giving to her and her kids. They could just totally keep it. Like, no, they don't have to buy me nothing. If I told her, now we got the lot, or I do the lottery now in my store.
Oh, yeah?
Dude, that was a process. To sell lottery in your business, oh, my God.
I hear.
It is,
my neighbors.
Yo, dude,
it's a hustle just to get the permits and all that.
Dude, forget about it. But I said, if I ever win, because I never play it, but once in a while now, it's going to be in front of my face, so I'm going to play it every once in a while now. If I ever win, that store is hers. Like, cool, just, nice. Because it's hard to find people with that type of heart, that genuine heart, man. So when you find that, you hold on to it. Definitely. And I try to tell people, don't burn those bridges.
Definitely.
Right? Because I am that same heart. But when you burn those bridges, I'm not going to do that again. Then that's it,
The people that is, most of my restaurant is small, my restaurant. But I would say 80% of the people that work there work since the day we open. Since before we open, for the preparation, that is like 2-3 weeks making the menu, testing the foods, cleaning everything, rolling fork, getting ready for the open. Since that time, they're with us, man. There, so I love that people to there too, man. I appreciate it. Because they not just go there for a paycheck. They fucking love the place, man. They get mad when people bad behave or talk shit about the place.
I know this lady too. She makes people buy food. Dude, she be like, "Tu vas a comprar la hora." I be like, "Oh my God, yo, she's crazy." And they buy. A lot of people come in just because of her, But she's so real, and people like that. And she just. I learned a lot from her, man, like on how she does the cooking. Man. So it's amazing. But to get to that part, while we have this gym and we'll shut down for 9 months, Jess came up with an idea of opening something that was an essential business, right?
So I wanted to ask you that because Jess is what it was described as an essential worker because she's working in the medical field.
So Jess works in the medical field. Yeah, she was a surgical tech. She was a surgical tech. She had to get out. She had to get out for several reasons. The first time she had to get out the medical field was because we didn't have anyone to cover us for a babysitter.
Okay.
And dude, to hire a babysitter for 2 kids
more expensive.
It's more expensive than her jobs.
The what she can make in that moment. Let's say.
Dude, I just couldn't afford it, so she had to leave because of that, which was great anyway, right? Because who's better than the mom, right? That's priceless.
And
so that was great.
Was happy to do it.
Then it got to the point that I can't afford now health coverage. So now, matter of fact, a babysitter don't cost as much as health coverage now.
I know.
So now I need her to go back to work because I could afford babysitter versus the health coverage, because that health coverage now is, dude, that thing
for a family of four,
crazy.
It's like $4,000 a month.
It's crazy.
I know.
I can't do it. So she had to go back into work for that. Then now she had to leave again. Bad. I'm so bad, man. I feel so bad for her. Right now she's going for her RN, as well as she was doing surgical work in Sloan Kettering on cancer patients. Mm-hmm. So she was dealing with cancer patients dying of cancer, as well as her aunt dying of cancer, as well as we running this business, as well as the business got shut down, as well as now we got to try to think about opening something else that's an essential business during these crazy pandemic times that the government won't shut you down. So we are not multi-millionaires that we can open a corporation, because to even buy Dunkin' Donuts didn't get shut down, right? They're not 7-Elevens didn't get shut down, right? To get into one of those companies, you need $3 million and you have to open up 3.
Imagine that.
What? Dude, who got that income but someone rich already? Yeah. You know? So to open up a mom and pop shop, you have to try to think about out the realm of, okay, what can I open that won't get shut down? And deli stores, right? But deli, who buys in delis really that much? Not that much. Deli stores, you don't make income from selling toilet paper, from selling soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, or candy. So it's more of the restaurant base where with another client, I went and I started studying who in this industry, in the food industry, because I came to you too, who in the food industry and in the deli industry is making it the most. And me and Jess, she came up with the idea that let's open up something that's deli restaurant, but not full restaurant. So when restaurants get these mandates, we don't get those mandates, right? Because we're more deli, right? So I don't serve dinner, which I keep trying to explain to people. We don't serve dinner. We're deli, like it's just like a deli, but you could get your empanadas, you could get your tres golpes, you could get your mofongo, you could get your lagonisa with your rice with pork chops for lunch. We have an amazing menu, right? And now I'm hoping that I'm able to bring on this Venezuelan cook that she could bring on the desserts and her Venezuelan food. That would be amazing to show those two different types of food. Dominican and Venezuelan is different, right? But, two different sections of empanadas, right? It's different, So that's amazing. So, and I won't get shut down. So Jess,
super smart.
So Jess came up with that concept. So then that's when we came up, and I wanted the X into that as well as X93, right? So that's why we named it X Central. Right? No one has that name. I got the copyright. I already did the LLC. I did the formation on that. And during that process, as being an entrepreneur, now I know I'm not opening up another business with my money. I'm opening up another business with somebody else's money, because that's how you open up a business. You use your money as a backup when everything is failing. Like right now, I'm dipping into my money because the grocery restaurant's not making money, right? For the first year, right? Because I gotta survive, right? But I gotta make sure my employees get paid, even though I'm negative $3,000 a week,
you keep
right?
them there at least.
Yeah, so we're still working on days. And now business is picking up. But we're talking about me paying income of people for 9 months. Yeah, man. The end rent and bills and supplying people to eat food, right? Because people thinking they eating food. Dude, I'm not even, you could buy as much food. Like someone came in and said, I'm never going to go buy coffee in here again. Okay. You're never going to buy coffee here again. It's $1. Dude, that dollar, what is it going to do? You understand? So a lot of people got to understand that it takes a lot to run a business, especially a mom and pop shop where they actually ask for discounts. Where they don't go to Target and say, this is $11.99, but I'm going to pay you $9.99.
Yeah.
You're not doing that in Target. Don't do that in a mom and pop shop. Our prices, we can't compare to them because we can't buy how they buy in bulk. That's how they sell it for cheap, because they buy it in bulk. We buy it in individuals where we pay more. Dude, I'm trying to make 50 cents off of something, a quarter off of something. I drove to the place and picked it up. Can I make income? I'm still paying tax on it again. I pay tax in the store and I'm paying tax when I sell it to you. So, dude, let me just make a little bit of income. So I try to explain that to people. I got off the subject. So opening Essential Groceries was my wife's idea. So the way she created it, She designed it, which if anyone visits Essential Groceries on Instagram, you'll see the store layout on how it is. We're prepared for the COVID on whatever pandemic comes. Dude, we got a glass.
Glass going in the full front. So that,
full glass, but the top is open where air could circulate. We need air circulating that. That thing was getting out. Hey, dude, it was 104. I lost 5 machines because they got 104 in that store.
Fuck.
While on vacation in Dominican Republic, I'm dealing with a crisis that I lost 20 grand in New Jersey. Now, think about that's my vacation, right? Yeah, man. I came back I was like, what the hell, man? That's not vacation. But my kids enjoyed a great time. You know, we all...
You kind of live through that, right? You get a little stressed and then you keep playing and you're like, okay, let's just live this moment. Dude, I cannot change.
And you know what's amazing, right? That I know we're getting off a little again, but I was on that vacation and during that whole time I was watching where I do post a lot on my Instagram, right? But I post because I want to have that interpersonal relationship with my clients, right? I don't consider them clients. I consider them family. So I've turned my X93 Instagram page, right, into personal and business, right? But I want them to know I'm still living life as well as we doing what we doing, man. This is life. As well as I show them workouts, I show improvements on clients, I show where people are now compared to where they were then when they were being recorded. And I was making fun of them.
You show them, you know, a burger, what they're trying.
Yeah, and how crazy we are. You know, I show people, dude, you got to live life, right? But you work out harder than what you eat. That's on the fitness industry, right? So during this vacation, everyone was living through their cameras, recording everything, but I put my phones away.
Me too.
I would tell my family, let's take 10 pictures. Once we take those pictures, phones go away. Let's enjoy the excursion.
Nice.
So we have pictures of the moment, you know, oh, remember this. Oh, yeah, remember that, because we had those pictures. But other than that, phones will go put away. And during those 2 hours of no phones, we looking around going, wow, everybody else is in the phones, and we're the only family that's actually interacting. We could be fighting with each other, but right? Still, but we interacting. Yeah.
Family, man.
Yes. And everyone else. So I was like, you know what? That's the way I'm going to be living from now on. You know, I'll pull out the phone every once in a while, do what I have to do to stay connected.
It's because it's so hard, man. You kind of have to keep showing what you do. For example, in my career, right?
Dude, you get tired after a while.
Yeah, man. You have to show, right?
I know.
And I love talking to my clients. I understand why many of my friends, tattoo artists, are busy people. They say no DM, just email, because they have somebody to help them to check the email or organize that way to check now and then their stuff. I understand.
I'm not there yet, but one day.
No, I understand. No, but for example, I got a friend that he's a well-known tattoo artist, super famous, right? He's busy for forever, whatever. And he say, new client, please send email to this email. Now his wife helping. So it's not like he pays somebody personal.
Right. Yeah.
No, it's just his family stuff. Probably he does it himself sometimes too, but it's just to prevent the necessary to respond DMs all the time when it's a lot of people asking dumb questions. Not dumb questions, but
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So what I like to talk to people. I actually encourage DM me your idea. I want to see the photo idea to make sure it's something I want to do and all of that. And my email goes nuts, man, because I receive email from vendors and a lot of other people. So my email goes to 600 every 3 days. You know what I mean? And some of them are vouchers, some of them are clients, some of them are vendors, some of them are
but you got to try to sort it out.
But it's so much work, man. So I'd rather talk to the people who DM me and respond very quick there and keep it. You know, when the client comes, I have right there what I'm supposed to talk to this client, what I gotta do. All of that is easier for me.
Yeah.
Still, I understand why people does. I'm not trying to judge that they run or anything. I just, for me, so far this is the easiest way.
I know. It's hard because that's the way it is now, right? Everything is social media, dude. It's just.
But when I work like 6 days a week, again, I'm taking now. I used to take Sundays off. Now I take Monday and Sunday. But for the podcast, I record and edit and all that, and chill with my family or whatever. But when you work, let's say 6 days a week, since you wake up until you go when you come back home, right? 7, 8 in the night. My case, not your crazy case, but my case. I come back home at 7 or 8. And then if I come to respond email, then my son is like putting aside for me to keep working. So it got to a point that I was like, I don't need this shit, man. I respond to my clients. I try to be on top of that. I don't want him to feel like I don't care. That's why I don't respond. But I have to put that quality time to my kid because he's growing super fast. And my daughter is 13. She's in that age that she need, you know, a father there and a mother there to talk to you about shit, you know. Right. And I want her to know that I'm there for her, you know. Right. So what I do now, I come home and put my phone in the other side of the house, in the living room, upside down, leave it there and go hang out with the family. Man. So I know now and then I have to check. So whenever I have a free minute, I go grab it, check what I have to check. If I need to check anything, put it there and leave again. Yeah. Don't carry it with me. Before, for a couple of times, and that's something that I never try intentionally to do. By happening, that I noticed myself doing it. We were in dinner time. That is our family time all together in the table. And I was checking emails in between bites because, you know, I'm so busy. I have to do this. It doesn't work for me that way anymore. Yeah. So part of the reason that I left the news aside and the phone aside, man, now everything feels so relaxed and fresh. And I noticed that, sometimes I get a little too behind responding people. Some people is like, hey, but you really making appointments or no? Like, just see like they're getting aggravated, but it's so little compared with the satisfaction and all the pros that I get not being in the phone and not watching news, any of that fuck it. I just prefer to live this life, man. Yeah. And we didn't do it on vacation, but it's kind of cool idea that you said. Probably my daughter died without her phone in vacations because she needs to show the world what she's doing all the time. And I do too. I take a couple of photos and
do a couple of photos and then just put it away.
Photos and then out. Done. Know? I leave sometimes like, what is my phone? What is my phone? And everybody trying to ring because my phone is also without sound or anything. So it's like, what is it? What is it?
No, mine is with sound.
With a clock, like find my phone in the clock, like make a noise like finally. Yeah,
my thing is by my hip. So what happened though during the COVID? Well, always as an entrepreneur. Right now, my business, X93 Fitness, those phone calls are forwarded to my cell phone. Mm-hmm. The reason that is because if my client, one of my trainers is there, I don't want him being distracted with the phone while he's with one of the clients there. Mm-hmm. And now that we're there sometimes and we're not there sometimes, those phone calls, I want to make sure that are answered and I go into voicemail. So a lot of them is a lot of people asking, you know, because I'm the only gym other than Equinox open. So when you Google gyms, I'm the only one that's popping up. So I'm getting a lot of phone calls and people trying to get like memberships to my gym where no, we just strictly do personal training. We're not a regular gym. Mm-hmm. But I always have to answer
that's the model of your gym, personal training.
Personal training only. No. So I took out the industry part of that gym where you could just go freely into the gym. Mine is just strictly personal training, one-on-one.
I like it.
Yeah, so it's intimate. You know, other people there are training with trainers. Even most of my clients have become friends and family with each other. It's amazing, you know, so cool, because we have that, you know, that bond right there. We all bugging out. We all having a good time together.
And something that I noticed is that your gym is not huge place.
No,
it's kind of
1,000 square feet.
But you have everything that people need in that area, right?
Everything.
And so, but that at the same time is big enough to keep people apart enough.
Correct.
But at the same time, it's intimate enough for people to feel like they're working with friends.
Because when they gave us that stipulation of the gyms could open 30% capacity, we were still able to put 6 trainers with 6 individuals 6 feet apart and still work it. But we never got to that part, that we never filled it up that way. But even though it's 1,000 square feet, you still could work the space as long as when I built out the gym, I already knew where I wanted the equipment. So that's how I built the gym into the way we did the equipment. Then a couple of years ago when Anthony came on, we just started figuring out and we rearranged the equipment to modify the space. Because in Manhattan, dude, 1,000 square feet is a very expensive, man. Like, you know.
And in that area, in that area,
very expensive. And when I tell people, you know, what a ballpark of what my rent is, they go crazy because that's the salary of a lot of people. You know what my rent is, and that's not including the taxes to that place. That's another thing that I try to tell a lot of entrepreneurs is. One thing you never want to play with is with the IRS. So I never play with them. What you could do is the money that you think you're going to get away with IRS, hire just the best accountant you could hire. He'll save you the most money you could possibly save legally without going to jail.
Exactly.
So I tell everybody that, and that's why I think I'm one of the only ones other than Equinox surviving on the Upper West Side, because I got that.
Yeah, I always heard all those people that want to advise you, like, Oh, you charge cash, put in your pocket.
Dude, I don't even care if you give me cash. That cash goes into that same account because I'm reporting that to my accountant.
And it's what we were saying in the beginning. If cash doesn't do much, right? At least that you really make a share of cash. But other than that, cash doesn't make shit. So you need good, solid credit, right?
And you have to show income in your business.
Right. So
especially to prove your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Number one.
Exactly. Like you, for example, you have a boat, a RV, you have the, how you call that
slingshot?
The slingshot card. And your car, your white car, and the nice house. And then
hold on. The nice house was a great foreclosure deal that I worked on.
But still. I'm not judging you, bro. I'm celebrating you. But what I'm trying to say, you cannot go and say IRS, I made $5,000 a year. I need help with to feed my kids. It's like, wait, what? You know what I mean? But people is trying to do that every day.
Yeah.
Or people that doesn't even know much. Some people is doing it in a very naive way, but some of the people that they think they're smart. You know what I mean? They're like,
they've been there, done that.
Yeah, no, I don't declare math. I do that. Yeah. Oh, you don't do declare math. Why you don't get all the money?
Yeah.
Nah, just leave. Bro, there is nothing like going to sleep in peace.
Correct.
Right? Like
Correct.
you kiss your son,
that's why
you kiss your daughter, you go to your bed, hang out with your wife and go to sleep. Relax.
My only worries is when my kids fight.
When they
fight, me and my wife are arguing. That's not. Other than that, that's just life.
Yeah, but that's life. That has to happen every day. It's hard to live under a roof, many people, and don't fucking argue about shit. Correct. You know what I mean? But definitely, you want the peace. You want to make sure that.
Correct.
If somebody think that you're doing growing shit, they come after you. Whatever. Check it out. Everything is
exactly there. Everything is on the books.
And because the fortune of this economy system that is in America, the capitalism, is that there are legal loopholes that are riches all the time.
Correct.
They just
the richer you are, the bigger loophole you get.
Yeah, because you can afford also better lawyers.
Correct.
Correct. Like tax lawyers or tax accountants or whatever. They show you, they teach you, they do it for you in the legal
That's why
ways.
I highly recommend my guy.
I know. I remember you told me, man.
He's a CPA accountant as well as a lawyer.
Imagine that.
A tax lawyer.
What he's doing.
Yeah. So he saves me a fortune, man. But I pay.
Of course.
I pay.
Because
you have to pay no matter what. I get in debt just to pay because you got to pay them. It
happened to me in the beginning, man.
It was no joke. I know. I
was so frustrated because I was like, bro, how is I'm working a full year, and if I take a vacation of a week, I own the money to the IRS. I'm using IRS money, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Meaning that at the end of the year, I have to pull money out of my pocket to complete payment of the IRS. It's like, this is bullshit. I cannot save money. Any money I save, I'm paying it. I didn't understand anything. I come from like fucking being broke as fuck and suddenly having money. And then it's like, okay, I want to do shit legal. Always I've been trying to do it in the right way, right? And then I was, okay, let's do it the right way. So, I make this much money a year. How much I have to pay? This much in tax. I was, what? What the fuck you mean? I don't have the money. Yeah, but you want it, but how? I don't have it. It's not like I spend a lot of money doing other shit. I took a vacation that I feel I fucking deserve.
I know.
After 11 years working without vacation. And I own the money. It wasn't my money. I thought it was my money that I was working for. So I was just paying my bills.
Yeah.
And that was all the money.
You were supposed to save their money.
Yeah.
Save their money. I know.
It's like, fuck. But then
you got to pay it.
But then little by little, you start asking questions like, okay, let me see. Wait, what happened that Amazon didn't pay taxes? And they got like, I don't know, $3 million in reimbursement from the government. I was like, what? This guy's a billionaire and he don't pay tax. Like Amazon Ali, I don't know if he's independently. I didn't went deeper because I was almost about to hang myself when I heard that shit.
Yeah.
But then you kind of cool down and you're like, oh wait, there is legal ways to do it. Like, why I'm using my money to pay this stuff?
Correct.
When that's supposed to come from the business, but you don't know any of that, right?
Right, because no one explains it.
Nobody.
But you know what? I was trying to explain that to someone too, right? What I was trying to explain to is, education is a key factor, right? But I know a lot of people who are not as educated, college degrees, right? That are making multi-millions.
Yeah, man.
Because of the companies they built, right?
Because they got educated somehow else.
Some way, somehow, and they learned and they adapted and they just put 110% into whatever they were doing, right? Once you do that, there's no stopping you, right? Who stops you is you.
Yeah.
Most entrepreneurs stop themselves, right? Because if you fall, just get back up and go again. I mean, there's no, it's sad to say, but I'm going to keep going no matter what, right? Even how much stress I got, how much thing. I gotta keep going, right? I want to provide. I gotta eat. Yeah. So we all gotta eat.
And
so
now I got kids that count on me too.
Dude, I got a family. I got 5 people who count on me.
Yeah.
So my mom lives with me too. So I take care of a lot underneath my household, but I don't consider it as a stress. It's just part of life. Like I'm in traffic listening to music. I'm not worrying about the traffic.
Exactly.
I'm listening to music. So I'm in my car. I'm relaxed. I'm
like there is a stress, but it's a stress that's part of the game. Let's say it that way, right?
Yes.
Like
it is.
It's impossible for you to have a business and don't think about your business.
Correct.
You have to think,
now,
right?
So that's the way I've been with X93 Fitness. So now, Essential Groceries, Jess has been running it. Mm-hmm. She is the company. So when I open up at 5 a.m. there, she opens at 5 a.m. there.
Wow.
So we both parents now, one is opening one business, the other one is opening the other business. That business is gonna, I'm almost 100% sure will outdo my gym 10 times.
Wow.
And her or I won't have to be there once she completes the building of it. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling her that I'm trying to explain to her as an entrepreneur, she sees all the negative aspects now, right? And thank God I have so many years underneath my belt where I know how to look at revenue and look how it's coming in, slowing down, bringing up. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to change. Mm-hmm. So I'm constantly on it, right? I'm more on it now ever with her because I saw a potential on this. I did some numbers recently on this company, and dude, we could be well off from this one store, right? If it's run well, because we have great employees. Mm-hmm. And that's the only reason, again, why I dwell on you have to treat people who work for you the best, man, because they are the best, man. You treat them good, they're going to treat you good. Now, you got people who I've had employees I treated well and they stole from me. Then you cut those ties.
It happened.
You cut those ties, right? You move on because I still love the dude who did that to me, right? He was in a dark place. It happened. Shit happens. You got to learn. You ask God for forgiveness. You got to learn how to forgive others, right? Which I live by that rule. I forgive others. Don't mean I got to be stupid enough to hire you again. I'm not going to do that, right?
You just don't live in hate.
I don't hate you. You know, brother. We ended up squaring it off. We clean, you know, but we move on. But that being said, is you still got great employees out there as well, you know? So as long as you treat them well, you're doing good. So she's running this company full force. So she can't go to school no more because of this. She was completing her nursing. She only had a year left, but she was taking 6 classes. Dude, that's too much.
Yeah, man.
And running the business and
being a mom.
Being a mom and a teacher. Because we didn't remember the schools were closed.
So she was there.
So she was there trying to teach them both because they're both. What kid is going to sit in front of a laptop and watch that for 8 hours and focus? Yeah. Dude, you're not getting me in front of a laptop for 8 hours and focusing even on something I love doing. I'm going to get sidetracked and walk away sooner or later.
I think if my son, I give him the phone with the game that he liked the most, even then he cannot stay 8 hours.
Yeah, you're not gonna do that, man.
Changed games and get
these
bored.
Kids, the last 2 years has been poor on the education for our children. It's very poor, and now God willing, they going back in on the 7th and let them go to school. I mean,
when your kids are going back to school?
The Monday? The 9th.
Oh, September
9th.
Oh, wow, it's like a Wednesday.
Dude, I'm dying for them to go back. They
Thursday.
need to. Our kids need to be educated, man.
Your kids were to school at all, or they stay all the time in computers?
No, they were online, and then when they opened it, they wore masks. Went to school.
They went to school.
Yeah, they went to school, and then whenever the kids got shut down, then we kept on sending them going back and forth. We
do.
We're going back and forth. I mean, I grew up swimming in the Henry Hudson. Dude, if I survived the Henry Hudson and Orchard Beach, where Pampers used to float, dude, when you swimming in the beach and you see a Pamper floating and you like push it away, dude, I'm okay. I'm gonna survive. And my kids got my genes. They're okay. My mother was worse. She was living in Puerto Rico, living in the Montes with rocks and all that. Dude, she'll be fine. We're going to be all right. It's just, you can't live with that fear, man. That is just another thing. And when it's your time, it's your time. You won't die from the COVID. You can die from a train hitting you.
Yeah, the problem with the whole COVID thing, man, is that how they make it politics. You know what I mean? And yeah, they make it just into politics. So now, if you say this, it's because you belong to that political group. If you say that, it's not about that. Man, it's so annoying because
I know.
It's so hard. Like definitely, if a disease come in some point that it gonna cause like 10% of deaths, you know what I mean? You have to do something. It's not like, oh, I'm strong. I work. I gotta be out. I don't care. No, you have to care for everybody.
Correct.
And in the beginning, this was supposed to be this thing of the COVID. And of course, we want to fucking protect the family. My mother is 75. She lives a block from my house. Then I have my 2-year-old son, my 3-year-old son.
But then the rules apply to everyone.
Exactly. But no. What I'm trying to say, in the beginning, it was supposed to be a real pandemic. 10% of people going to die or whatever. So, of course, let's protect everybody. Little by little, they realize, okay, it's just like 0.0, I don't know how many % of people that really die. Sad for people to die. I'm not taking it like a fly. I'm not saying like they don't matter or anything like that. You know what I mean? Of course, they matter. Close friend of mine died in Venezuela of that. And the father of one of my closest friends also died of that in Venezuela because of COVID. I don't know if it was just COVID that killed him or the other, circumstances he have, like, probably high blood pressure or whatever other things that he have. I'm not sure, and I cannot talk about that at all. But the point is that we realize it's not done. So come on, let's leave, right? Let's go out.
I know,
man. And I know this is like
I'm driving my windows down.
What people kind of say, like, white people problem, like the problem that sometimes we complain. I know, like, damn big of a problem, but we can complain what we understand is ours, right? Of course, I sympathize for other things, but it doesn't mean that if my kid get hurt in his knee, it won't matter to me because some kids are dying somewhere else of starving. No, still this is my you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I was very concerned how Andres, he started a kindergarten. He was in pre-K, right? In the middle when they stopped the classes, that he had to graduate, driving through and everybody with balloons, and you know what I mean? Like, it was not like in a school celebration. It was like a driving through the school or whatever. That's okay, right? Then the new school year started with computers. Man, this kid was getting so antisocial, right? Like, he don't want to. We said, let's go out. He's like, nah, let's stay home. Let's go to the park. No, I don't want to go to the park. First, the park were closed, but not even to hang out around in the beach, walk around, breathe fresh air. He just wanted to be at home, man. And I didn't like that, because those years when kids are developing and growing, it's so important for them to socialize, to understand social clues. Like, okay, at home, I can be an asshole.
Younger kids are better to go to school than older kids.
Of course.
Those high school kids should be online learning it. They have that attention span. Our kids need that interaction with another kid.
But even though my daughter is a teen now because 13, still she needs the social interactions. It's important for their development, to understand, okay, if I act in this way, I gotta get this kind of, answer or response from my peers. But if I act that way, I gotta get this, response. I need to, navigate in social interactions to understand how much of an asshole I can get away with or not. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't getting any of that. Of course, my daughter a lot easier. She already lived a lot of years at school. It's a temporary start. You got to go back to school. Then you adapt, right? But she was missing her friends and all that stuff. It's not big of the deal. If you have to stay home for safety, you have to stay home. But when he's a little kid, when he's supposed to start that part of his life and he's just at home in the computer and surrounded by toys, he's like... And he tried to be smart. He tried to press attention, but it's so hard, man. So he's like, when you gonna be the break? How long for the break? And my wife was taking care of my son, my daughter, but also a couple of my kids' cousins. So one of the girls is the same age as my son, 10 days different. Her school was worse, man. She's like a 4-year-old kid, or probably she was 5 already. Her class literally were like 8 hours straight. Like, they have like a little lunch break of 30 minutes or something. My son was like 1 hour, a break of 1 hour. Then half an hour at something you have to do, then a break of 2 hours. Then another thing, another break. So it's easier at least for him to okay, I gotta do it. It's not like learning so much that way, but at least,
something.
The other kid, man, she's like looking everywhere, so bored, man. I feel bad for those kids, man. And I don't know why we went all the way in that conversation, but it's part of this, just talking.
Correct.
Yeah, man. So your kids were in and out, and your wife was helping them. She was now the teacher.
Yeah, yeah. So she's now the teacher. So right now we're focused on that one business. So that business, what we do is we offer just straight Dominican food, but we just turned it into just not only Dominican, just Spanish cuisines, because we just everything is just Spanish cuisines. Like now, my wife is switching it up now.
The concept of the restaurant is similar to the Dominicans places where the food is kind of there, that you come and say like, I want this right with these beans, with this. I love those, man. It's quick, it's easy, it's affordable.
Just put it like this: is a cheek cuchi fritos. It's like a cuchi fritos, right? We have everything in the morning, and if we don't have it, and you say it, and my cook knows how to do it, we go down the block to the supermarket, buy everything, and cook it for them. We've been doing that, and then after that, because we're trying to figure out what that area wants. And once we see that there's certain things now we want, so now we're offering like sausages with French toast and eggs in the morning, where before we was only doing the tres golpes.
What is tres golpes, man?
That's the Dominican. That's like mofongo with fried cheese, fried salami. Oh, yeah. That's sweet bananas.
The sausage and the banana.
Yes, it's all together. That's a Dominican breakfast.
You call it tres golpes?
Tres golpes. Yeah.
Wow, I never heard that before.
Yeah, so they sell that a lot over there. But then now we're doing American dishes. Now my wife is also doing healthy ones. So she's also doing now health plans for individuals, for customers that are coming into the store. And now we got outdoor seatings. Nice. So during that process of me opening it, I went to the mayor of that city and introduced myself and, told him that, during the COVID, I have this business been shut down. I'm intrigued of opening this business in his city. And man, that dude has opened me up. His name is Mayor Brian P-Stacks. He has opened up his arms to me and my business and my family.
Nice. Shout out to him.
Amazing.
What is that city where the restaurant is?
Union City.
Union City, New Jersey.
Essential Groceries is located in Union City, New Jersey.
Awesome, man.
And the gym X93 Fitness in the Upper West Side. So we, being a Latinos, being Hispanics, minorities, we have these business. We opened up Essential Groceries using a business loan to open up the business. So, like I said, you never want to just open up a business with your money. You want to open up a business with other business money. So what I did was I took out a couple of loans on the business itself, as well as offer my X93 business to open up this business.
That is something I want to learn a little more about, man. And I've been talking to some friends, and I have this group of friends that they own a bunch of restaurants. Not a bunch, probably they own like 4 restaurants or something. They're super nice. They used to be my neighbors in my restaurant next door, but they found a better location, so they moved there. And it's in a plaza where the other restaurant also is, so they kind of took over the full plaza with the 2 restaurants. And the food is so good in both of them. Shout out to the guys of Spread and El Segundo. Man, so fucking good food. Yeah, I was just thinking about the tacos, man. They had some shrimp tacos with a little spicy sauce, so good. They also open up other restaurants, the same chain, they have another Segundo, another Spread, like that. But they're super, super, super legit nice people that when we moved to our location, when we opened the restaurant, they were already there for years next door. Man, they received us open arms, and they were like, whatever you guys need, let us know. Always giving us advices. Always, giving us tips or like, for example, let's say, oh man, can I put that chair a little bit further? Oh yeah, of course, let me move this thing. Like they never get selfish or jealous. They always finding ways to help me. It was such a great neighbors. They moved, but the relationship stayed. So I was going in their places and we talk and whatever. So they know a lot about this industry and about business. And one of them, at least 2 of them are coming because one of them, the chef is Carlos. He speaks Spanish fluent. He's Mexican. So I want to have him as a Spanish speaker person. And then I want at least one of the other 4 partners, 4 or 3 partners, 4 partners, to also come because they know a lot, man, about the industry, about the ways to find like investors and all of that.
Yeah.
And that's something I really want to learn, because what you're saying is true. Like, why to use your own money to open restaurant when you can use somebody else's money, right?
Correct.
Investors or whatever. And investors can be as a credit card or a bank loan or somebody,
friend.
Yeah, or a person that has the money.
Or friend.
Yeah, or want to invest in you. So it's all of that together. Either of those, right? Or few of those together, right? If somebody asks me right now with the level of expertise I have, that is very, very, very little, I would suggest try to open at least your first business. If you want to go in that route of the entrepreneurship, try at least to open your first business 100% you out of your pocket, even if you need to get loans, credit cards, or whatever.
Correct.
But
100%.
That's your business, and
yes.
keep it protected and safe of investors.
100%.
Make sure that shit is yours. Separate LLC, whatever you want to do. Lawyers, paperwork, make sure that shit is yours. Nobody touch it.
I agree.
And then play with the other. Because I know these people, one of my clients, he's the son of an old pizzeria man, right? Like an old guy with recipes, very good. That story is a little confusing to me, but basically what it is, like the details are a little lost, but basically what it is this. I don't want to say that I'm at the company in case that I'm misrepresenting. I don't want to get sued or some shit, but basically it's this. This guy worked for a company for many years. Then he split, right, from that company. Basically what you did with the gym. He opened his own pizzeria and started being successful. But one of the things that he was selling, it was sold by the original pizzeria. So they were in a kind of war between you cannot do that because ours, or the guy like, I can do it because my share. Plus it's like you cannot say to somebody, you cannot use mozzarella cheese because that's what I do. Because fuck, it's pizza. I do whatever I want, right? But when it's a recipe of a sauce, then you kind of protect that, right? So they were in that battle, but I think the guy won the right to do it. And the product was so good, they grow, right? The pizzeria started selling, and then investors came over and offered, like, let's partner, let's bring this shit over to the state, right? And over the country if possible. So they opened like 4 more of the same restaurant, right? With the investors' money. Like the longest story ever short, making it shorter, the guy, the original owners weren't making any money because the investor put like, no, all the money that's being produced is to pay the opening of the new businesses. So there is not enough money to pay you yet. And you have to wait one more.
I don't do investments like that.
Exactly. So that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I want to talk before I jump to do, because since I opened La Calle and Avenida, I got offers by people, you know, like, bro, I like the concept. This thing can explode. Let me invest money and let's open a couple of different areas, college towns and whatever. Let's do fast, whatever, right?
Yeah. I don't want partners.
Yeah. That's the thing. But listen to this. Yeah, it's not like the ideal is to find investors, not partners, but you have to be clear in how the investors' monies get paid, but they don't affect, and you don't get affected.
But that's why when I tell you how I do my investments,
I want to hear it, because I don't really know exactly how to do it. And I have great lawyers that if I see with them, like, you know, you have different kind of lawyers for immigration purposes or personal things or for, I don't know, the businesses or for, I don't know, different kind. I have like 2-3 different lawyers. But my kind of right hands are 2 of them. And this one is very knowledgeable, even though he's younger, but still like he's 40. His father is super well known. I think he's retired already. So they always help each other too. So somebody I really trust. I know if I sit with him, he gonna clear my mind. Also, these friends of mine that work in the restaurant industry, and like that, I have a bunch of clients that work in finances and stuff. They cannot buy me. It's just that right now, I'm not looking to open a bunch of new businesses, and then I'm kind of done letting myself get too crazy, because as soon as I say I gotta do this, I go crazy. You know how it is. Like I was like, let me do a podcast. I buy a microphone connected to my cell phone, and I talk to my client what I'm tattooing. And then suddenly it's a full studio with a bunch of camera, lighting, microphones. You know what I mean? I go nuts into that shit. But that's something I really want to know, because got so crazy by my friend's dad and himself with a business that investor bought them out. But they didn't have money to compete with the price that was for the business now so big, but they get no pay. So they don't have money to buy the full business or buy the investors out. So that's the position they got, you know, forced by investors. So the investor bought them out for almost no money. And they have no rights to do pizzas in I don't know how many miles around here, because they cannot compete with the recipes that they got there.
Yeah.
So they got super skewed, man. That I don't want it to happen. Yeah. So that's what I easily advise people. Go and find yourself an investor. No, get educated. It's the first move. You know? Do something up to the level that you really know.
Correct.
And wherever you want to grow from there, get super educated yourself and surrounded by people that you can afford, like CPAs or lawyers or whatever, that guide you, that you can trust them.
Right.
And grow smart, you know.
So the main thing in life is your surroundings should be goal driven, or it is someone that you grew up with and you guys are just been friends forever. So my new surroundings, we all got to be goal driven. We could all be entrepreneurs. We all got to be some type of goal driven that we could feed off each other, right? We could help each other out. The way you do it as getting starting a business. So I had 3 options on opening up a new business, and my 3 options that I give myself would be A, try to do it again the way me and Jess did it with the credit cards, because we still got all those credit cards, right? We use them once in a while to use them just to make sure that they stay up there. Sometimes we max them out when we get into business debt, and then we pay them off again. So you have those as your safety nets. That's always a safety net. You always want to keep a safety net just for that, because you do, out of 12 months, you do have business that's great for maybe 8-9 months, and then you got 3 months out of debt. So you got to figure out how to use that income for those months. Yeah, so you got to balance that out. So what I was going to do was I was going to take out a business loan off of my business to open up the other business.
That's what I did with my business.
So what you're doing is you just using that money, you just paying back an interest rate, right?
But it's a lot lower interest.
Yeah, it's a lot lower interest rate, right? So you paying that back, and it doesn't go on your credit report. It goes on the credit report of the business. So that doesn't affect your credit report, as well as that builds the business credit report with Dan. I think it's called Danbury, something like that.
I don't know that price.
They're the ones. They're the ones that control the business income of your credit, even for your business. It will be Danbury. They're the main ones that do it for all businesses. Like if I wanted to Google how your business credit is, all I got to do is go to Danbury, put in your company's name, and it'll give me your credit score.
Okay.
I just got to pay for that. Yeah. So a lot of companies pay for that. I get a lot of advertisements on people wanting to give me loans. But I don't want to take these loans because there's some loans out there that they'll give you $1 million, but you paying back like 1.2 in like 6 months.
Yeah.
So that's almost impossible, So you got to understand what type of loan program you're going to go for. But so when you take what
kind of business you're doing to make sure that you're gonna receive the money to pay,
it's gonna produce that income.
Sometimes it's worth it. If you're gonna pay 20% in interest, let's say for example, with a credit card,
correct,
it's not the smartest way if you're gonna take you 5 years to pay, because then you're gonna be paying like a lot of fucking money for that. But if you're sure that your new project, like for example, when I needed to open my tattoo shop, I didn't need to open a business and go and find clients and see what it gonna happen. Not have the clients waiting for me. I just need a location where to work. Yeah. So that was a lot easier for me to get in depth to complete the process of building the new thing using credit cards or whatever I had. Thanks God I got a good credit with Home Depot, and they gave me a fucking huge loan. We almost know like 3-4% interest and shit like that. It was free. If I pay in less than I don't know how many months, I probably don't even pay those interests. So it was great, But with the business that you already need, kind of nothing is secure, safe. You never know what will happen. Probably people go to decline my work one day and never come back to get the tattoo. You never know. That's not going to happen. But you know what I'm saying? At least you getting into a business with a certainty, or that feeling of security that, okay, I got 30 customers that want to get that too, and my book is being closed. I know when I open, I'm gonna get more. Plus, these people, I feel confident investing, let's say, in this business, right? It's fucking better than investing in Bitcoin, pretty much, because you.
I know, but if I would have did that. Right? If I would have did Bitcoin when they told me to invest, when it was $100 a share.
I never heard about it until it was already like $25,000 or something.
$100 a share. Same thing with Ethereum. I found out Ethereum was $100 a share.
Yeah, I think
both my clients that told me about those things, they both. One is
loaded.
One of them is the billionaire who gave me the money to open up Essential Groceries.
Oh wow!
So he was my investor. So one of my clients one of my clients from X93.
So he was an investor as
so here's the thing, Javier, right? A man's character is everything he has, right? So the way you carry yourself as a man, the way you carry your words, the way you use your words, and you use, if you're gonna do something, you're gonna just do it. That creates a character, right, of an individual. Mm-hmm. So anyone who knows me knows my character. I'm not a guy to be playing around. I'm not a guy to be bullshitting if I'm gonna do something. Mm-hmm. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it big, hard, and go all out, nonstop. So during this process of me thinking about with Jess opening up Essential Groceries, I was trying to figure out, okay, what's funny is we got the location, we got the equipment pricing, we got everything, contractors, everything done.
But no money. A little detail.
Yo, so because I in my eyes, the way I work, that's harder than getting the money to me.
Yes.
I don't know, finding people to do the jobs that you're trying to do, find a location, find everything that you want to put into place, into action that's in your head is harder than one step trying to find the finances now to support that idea.
Yes.
Right? And the people who are already proactive, ready to start working. So I remember we locked in everything. We locked in the lease. We locked in everything. And I'm going, oh shit, Jess, we don't got the fucking money yet. These people are going to start working in 2 weeks. What the fuck? So she goes, don't worry, you know how it is. And I do. I always throw it back on God. Dude, my faith is so strong on God, and I put it. But that being said, does not mean I do not get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to work.
Exactly.
Me relying on God does not mean I'm not going to open that door and take that opportunity, because that's where people lack, is opening the door, take the opportunity, and take the step of faith, right? Because I'm falling. You know how many times I said, oh my God, how am I going to pay my mortgage next month? And in 2 days, make the money to pay the mortgage. That for 28 days, I was crying because I didn't know how I was going to make the mortgage. And then 2 days before the mortgage is due, I earned the income to pay it. So that's the part of being an entrepreneur, right? So you go through those, oh my God, how am I going to do it? And then some months is, oh my God, I made so much money. I want to go buy something. Let me go look on Amazon and start scrolling through Amazon. Oh, I like that. I always wanted an axe in my car. It just goes depends. So my character, this guy knows me. He is a multi-billionaire, Bitcoins. He owns
a lot of that shit.
He's second in Bitcoin owning. So his money is crazy, right? That being said, he is also a down-to-earth dude, and he knows who I am. I made one phone call. And that's the thing about investors, right? You have, that's what I say, you have to be surrounded by these people. You have to know who's who, and they have to know your character. So as soon as I called them and said, listen, I'm thinking about opening a grocery store. This is my idea, deli restaurant. I gave him, by the end of the conversation I had with him, he said, how much you want? You want $500,000 tomorrow? I said, hell no. Dude, you give me $500,000, I'll see you later. You know, I'm messing around with him.
Of course.
That's why he was going to send me in. And he did his legit. He said, all right, I'll send you the money. You're going to have the money in 3 days. We came up with a number. He said, what do you think the bank will give you? I gave him a number, and he said, all right, I'll go 6% lower than that. On top of the low number I gave him. So you understand? So it's my character that also had that person to invest in me. He's not making a huge income from this, but he is making his fair share, right? But what he gave me is peanuts compared to what he lives on. For him. And why I cannot live like that one day, right? He wasn't there one day. He got there one day, he got there through Bitcoin, right? But he saw an opportunity and took it. That's all we have to do in life, is see the opportunity. So bet the next opportunity I see, I'm going to take it.
Of course, man.
And this Essential Grocery, right? This been bad because I've been going at it and I've been working nonstop, that it drains the life out of you. It drains the life out of my wife. It drains the life out of my marriage, my kids, my household. Running two businesses, one that's being restricted by the government, another one that is a new business, and people don't know we're there. And when they come, then we get consistent clients that we get those same constant, repeating clients, but that doesn't pay the bills. You need more than that.
Yes.
Right? But you have to see a light. And I see the light now more than ever for that store to eventually grow. But the thing is, you go through these things of being scared. Yo, like,
yes,
I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose this that I just built it. And what do I do next? Do I go get a job and work for someone? I haven't worked for someone in 12 years. What the fuck am I going to do? So, it's hard, but you got to walk with the faith of God. You got to have that character that someone could invest in you. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't have the money, be around people who are working, work for them, do something for free for them, be around them, let them see who you are, build that character that person is willing to invest their money into you as an individual.
Yeah, it's super important, that part. Like, you have to manage yourself in life somehow that people can trust you.
Correct.
But not because you said they should trust you. It's just because that
your
way how
actions,
you manage yourself. So
your actions.
People that knows, for example, investors and stuff like that, they don't go for what you're saying in your mouth. They're checking everything. They're checking who you are. Like, you know what I mean? They're checking numbers too. They're checking your idea. Correct. Really, your idea is a strong idea. So you cannot just come and bullshit people around. Like,
correct.
Yeah, I gotta open this business. I gotta produce 5 million a year, whatever. Yeah, I gotta open this. Wait. What is the business about? I'm not sure yet, but I gotta make. It's like no. That's what you need to prepare yourself. So what you were saying is super, super true.
But you can't say, even though your situation is almost like this, you can't say, I'm going to open up a tattoo shop and I'm going to open up a restaurant together.
Yeah, no.
No, you built your tattoo shop.
No, yeah.
And that was your foundation. Then you opened up your restaurant because you already rely on your foundation to support that new one. So that's why I tell people, you got to be a master, a creative one before you try to open up another one.
Yes.
You can't be a baking cakes today and tomorrow you're going to sell houses.
Yeah.
You got to pick. You're going to either sell houses and be great at it, or you're going to bake cakes and be great at it.
Yes.
Once you get that one, then you start going into other aspects because that one is already built.
Yes.
But you can't do that. People don't know that.
And building that first one is not just about doing the job right and making enough money a year, let's say. It's I know, and I feel very grateful for this and never going to take it for granted, that people trust me, that I got to put my heart in what I do, that I never gonna cut corners on my clients. That
correct.
You know what I mean? All of that.
And you go on their skin for life.
Yes. Yeah. So for the people to trust me with that, for people to be willing to wait for me a month, 2 months, or whatever to come for an appointment, for people to be willing to pay what I want to charge, for all of that.
The years, months before.
That takes time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like you don't. That's building the business. It's not. It's not just I gotta show, do a tattoo, and leave and treat people like shit and they have to come because I'm so good at that. No. I mean, you could choose that path if you want.
Some people do.
Oh, I know more than one. Yeah. In not just tattooing, in different fields. Yeah, correct. But the point is that while you do, like if you're going to invest a full year in your business, right, to try to make it strong, make sure that you make it strong every possible facet of that business. Right. So that business is the place, the building have to be clean, have to be nice, have to be comfortable, have to be organized, accessible. All of that counts, right? Then part of the business is you. You on time. You do the things right. You don't treat people like shit. You respect. You put your heart in what you do.
No matter how your day is going.
Work. No matter how stressed you are for the bills or whatever. When I'm tattooing, right?
Yeah.
Now and then I have to interrupt my tattooing for a call or whatever. I apologize to my client. I make sure I go take the call and keep going there. Not like bullshitting when I'm tattooing, doing many things at the same time. But all of that affects, right? At the same time, you're learning because when you get into a business, for me to open the first tattoo shop, let's say, for example, I was like, okay, I got to open a tattoo shop. What do I need? I know how to tattoo. Yeah. That's all I know. And I need a bed and a tattoo machine and some ink. But how I do this? So I asked, LLC. Oh, no, you have to get an LLC. Yeah. How I do that? My accountant, please help me with the shit. She helped me. I know now I can do it myself, save some money. Certain things you don't want to be doing everything yourself.
Certain things you don't want to be cheap.
Some things you want to delegate too because you can use that time to do something else more productive for your future, right? So, okay, I need a LLC. Now what? Now you need to register with the state. Correct. Now federal. Now you need to open a bank account. Now you need to go permits. Oh, what kind of permits? Zoning. health department, building department, inspections, and so
I did everything for Central Groceries.
Exactly. So I did everything too for that to show for the two restaurants for I tried because I like to do it, and sometimes you get a little aggravated by how people fucking waste your time for no real reason.
Yep.
But at the same time, you learn. So you're learning. So that year that you're trying to build your business, let's say a year to put a day, right? You have to keep learning several stuff. So now you are a year later with a lot of experience. You build a solid business. Let's say 1 year, 2, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, right? Now your reputation grow with the business because you have to, you are important. It's not just the business, but you part of the business, right? At least in the business that I do, tattooing, right? At the same time, it's a full year of experience on how to manage the business, how you have to, not every dollar come, you have to spend it. You have to put money aside for taxes, for
everything.
Fucking like see broke or whatever it is, because now everything comes out of you, right? So use that time to learn, not just, okay, I got 5 ideas and I got $5,000. I got to open 5 businesses. Then you don't know how to be everywhere at the same time. Man, if it wasn't for my brother, I couldn't have the restaurant. Because restaurant business absorbs so much.
Dude, that restaurant, time, if it wasn't for Jess, I couldn't do the restaurant either.
Exactly. So you need somebody that you can trust.
I would never recommend 100%. That industry.
Yeah, me either. I told you, right?
That thing would never.
Did I tell you that one day?
I don't know. You
when you were telling me like, oh my God, it's just so hard.
Dude, man. I would never.
Too messy.
That industry.
I don't like
gyms all day. Open them.
Yeah.
Restaurant, stay away far.
Yeah, man. The restaurant business.
Unless you want to give your life up.
Exactly. You have to be there all the time. To be there. If you're not there, you have to be with people that is there. If you are with partners like my friends, you have to be people that everybody's doing the part. It's not just people showing, people doing the part. So you can focus on this while they focus on that. And if you got 2 or 3 locations, everybody can spread to locations and work, as a one. But you have to understand the fucking business. You have to be so patient with entitlement on people. You have to be patient with fucking distributors. Distributors. Yep. That one day suddenly they come, you're expecting some meat, and they say like, "Oh, we didn't have that meat this week. What the fuck? Why you didn't call me? Now what do I do? Go to the supermarket, buy retail price to try to now make less profit. But you have to have the
and you can't change the price.
No, you cannot change it every day. Like, okay, we're gonna go $4 extra today to the fucking dish.
I know steak went up to $4.89. I had to raise the steak. I already went up. It went up $2.
Yeah, man.
When I was selling the steak. But the thing is too, it being like I try to tell people like I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm an entrepreneur that does more than just that, right? So for my companies, for both X93 and Central Groceries, I created the LLC. I created the domains. I created the Google Analytics. I created the websites that link with each other. I created the Yelp, what else goes behind that? Registering it with Dansbury as a LLC. There's so many things that go behind a company, like just opening it, that you have to delegate so much out, where I've learned, why don't you just learn that?
Yeah.
Right? And then when you become rich enough, then you hire the most professional people to do those jobs. Definitely. But for now, as a mom and pop shop, if you Google either one of my companies, the way I do my Google Analytics, and I learned this on my own, right? This is stuff that I taught myself opening X93 Fitness. This is all the things that you learn. Oh, wow, I had to hire someone to come pick up my trash in Manhattan. I had to pay them what a week? I didn't know that. No one told me. Why you give me $100 fine? So you learn things as you're going, right? As well as you learn on how to manage your own company, because who's going to do it the best? Yeah. You. So I created everything for Central Groceries. And if you Google either company right now, you will see that I'm right underneath the ads. Ads is what people pay for to be up there.
Yeah.
And I am the company right underneath them, because I am providing the good best. Spot to be. Yep. I'm providing the best. So when it's funny when companies says, "Oh, we could put you top ranking on Google." I'm like, well, you didn't Google me, because I am top ranking.
Yeah.
I'm already in top 1. When you Google gym, personal trainer, or right now when you're Googling food in Union City, I'm starting to pop up there. Yeah. My gym pops up number 1 because I got 10 years. But I've helped a lawyer open up her office. I helped a client open up 2 grocery stores. I helped another client open up 2 barbershops. I've helped certain clients open up their businesses from scratch all the way through because I already, from the experience I had on X93. And it's funny because when I was helping my one of my attorneys open up her law practice, she graduated from Harvard. And I'm sitting back going, I didn't graduate from Harvard, but I'm telling her everything she needs to do to open up this company and how she could transfer her clients and how she could create these Excel program sheets, on how she should create these programs on scheduling and everything else like that. Like it's, even though mine is just a gym, but I could use that same concept for any company that's out there. I just got to adapt it, right? And I try. It's funny because everyone that I hire as a personal trainer, I try to teach them how to make 150, 200 grand, 250 and open up their own companies. And you know what's funny? I sit with them for hours, dude, explaining this, going for weeks and weeks and months. And I'm like, you're not even doing what I taught you.
Yeah.
That's how I opened up this company. Wouldn't you want to open up your own? Just put in the schedule. That's so simple, right? I show people on how to make money, and people don't want to do those steps sometimes. So that's why I tell people, everyone is not meant to be an entrepreneur, right? Certain people might think that in their head. Just stop and just work and enjoy life. Do what you want to do and enjoy life, right? But if you want to be an entrepreneur, then stop what you're doing, quit, go into it, and do it 100%. Yeah. And if you fail, then you know that didn't work out, right? And then just stop.
Or in some point, for some people, they might realize in that process, like, oh, this is to my hustle. I don't want to do this.
Restaurant. I would never want to do a restaurant again.
I want to sleep. I don't want to be thinking about numbers all night long and feeling the NC tickle, annoying sensation in your stomach that fucking keep you awake. And, and the nervousness of, oh my God, if I cannot provide that chef, they invest so much money. What if it closes? Or whatever you think, right? All those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, restaurant is rough, man.
It's hard. That's one of the hardest industries.
The only way I would, not the only way, but what it comes to my mind right now as the possibly only way to open more restaurants is using investors with a lot of fucking money that we can hire professionals like managers and CPAs and all of that stuff.
Javier, I won't do it.
No, but that would be the only way. I feel like I know people. Man. It's so hard to say because even the most successful restaurant owners that I know, they still struggle with numbers. They make money, but they're always in that thin line.
They're just on another bracket.
But they're always in the thin line too of if some little check goes wrong, everything like, you know, how you say a castle of cards? How you call it? Like a castle of cards?
I understand what you mean, but so owning these two businesses, being the entrepreneur, thank God, I'm 43 now, and I've realized I'd rather have a little less and have more time with my family and my and life in general. 100% right?
agree with that.
I don't even care for the stuff no more. So what my goal now is to pay off the debt I am in now, personal debt, and this new business debt that I'm in now, and invest in. I need to invest because we got to think about when we grow old, right? I have not invested into my future of when I'm going to retire at all. Shit, at all. I got investments in Bitcoins and in the industry, and I'm praying for that multi-million. But I'm not counting on that. Yeah. You understand? I'm still working my butt off. I'm not counting on that. That's in the play, but I'm not counting on it. But my goal is to eventually sustain a life where I could just basically, as an entrepreneur, still have those little headaches, but just have a company where I get to be more my family and my wife and my kids versus me trying to keep building empires. Yeah, because I'm done.
But at the same time, the ideas keep popping, right?
They do. They don't stop.
They don't stop. Like it's the same battle here, man. Like I again identify a lot with what you're saying because I value a lot more my family quality time than anything else, right? Me too. I basically stopped traveling for conventions and all of that even before COVID because I didn't want to be away from my son. I want to see him every day. And man, he comes with so crazy out of his mind that surprised me all the time, right? So still, I got so many ideas and so many projects that are right there. Some of them greening down, some of them in my mind that they're not done serious yet. But there are many projects that I'm kind of ready, like, yeah, I want to go into this project now. I want to do this, you know, because you feel the excitement, like, and fortunate enough, they're like when you play Monopoly, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you have to warrant to secure a couple of properties and get your taxes, but you feel like you want to keep buying property and building. You know, it's kind of entertaining, that process, right? Yeah. So the ideas are there, and I have those ideas that I feel they're gonna be good ideas. I can explore them, maybe at least explore them, right? Get into them and invest some money. If they don't work, it's okay. Like with a podcast, for example. I'm doing this, I'm not making money out of this. I invest some money. I'm learning a lot. Just dies already, you know. But it's not producing cash. Let's say it's not producing numbers coming in. But maybe at some point it will.
Maybe,
maybe no. But at least I got a tattoo shop, right?
Yeah, correct.
That's
income
my job.
Is still coming in.
That's my job. But I keep thinking and planning ways to produce money in the future when I'm not there participating in the process, because I don't know how long I could tattoo. I feel like for 20 more years, I feel fresh. You know, I love this shit, like with passion, and my hand hurts, but I stretch them and keep going. I don't mind it. But that's not the goal. The goal is not, okay, I want to make more money, I need to work 2 more days a week. Because we still have 7 days. I
still want to make my money, just work less.
That's the goal.
So it's work smarter.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the goal.
Not harder.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, my goal is to find the ways to produce the income, to be like no stress about bills and shit, that they can pay themselves.
But be comfortable.
Have the family quality time.
And live the same way I'm living now. That's my goal now.
So if I see for serious right now, I realize that having the tattoo shop, it will give me that, right? I don't need anything else, right? So I'm like driving to that, right? But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but I like this idea. I got to do it. So it's that battle of, one of my ideas, constant ideas every day, kind of, that keep coming to my mind, not for business, but for living. I want to buy like a little farm kind of property outside of the town. Possibly that I don't know, with some water that make noise, but I like it, but some property around. I don't want to have animals. At least that my wife want animals. She probably will have a garden with vegetables or something. I don't know. But that place that you can see outside and be in peace, silence, you know, relax, that you have to go to the city a couple of times a week or whatever, but be chilling and relax, and your kids can run outside and grow in nature. And you know what I mean? Maybe build a nice one of those small houses separate from the main house to tattoo in that area or paint or do my stuff there, probably the podcast or whatever. But you know what? I'm looking more and more for that.
But that's achievable for you.
Oh, no, it is. Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just not sure if I want to take my family out of the city, or when my kids can go probably to better school, being in the city, having all the time to drive 1 hour to find a school or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's more about that right now. Because the other thing that keep coming to my mind, repeating, is that I want to buy a house in a neighborhood. In Texas, it's very popular. Here in Florida, you see it too. So it's like those kind of neighborhood that all the houses kind of look the same, and the streets are organized, very organized. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they have like a main place where all the park for the kids is, some kind of pool or whatever. Yeah. The houses are very pretty and organized. I grew up in a place like that. No pool or anything, but like organized houses, all look alike, very nice houses, cute houses, let's say. It was good because you have your friends there. You know, you go to the street and play soccer or baseball and throw rocks and do shit. But you have your friends that you grow with. I
don't think we're ever going back to those days.
It's gonna be hard, kids. I think if you mean for the pandemic, this gotta go away. In some point, have to go away. I'm sure. I'm positive, man. At least let me have my optimism.
Your dream?
My optimism in there.
All right, let you have your dream right now.
Yeah, it have to, man. It have to, because I'm not sure how much real versus manipulation is this pandemic. And I'm not saying it's not real, but I'm not saying how much is real versus manipulation. But we live in a some companies are getting richer and richer and richer, right? While small businesses are getting fucked and closed. Yep. But in some point, the richest company gonna need somebody to buy share from them. So they cannot keep this. They have to find a way to fix it and open it for everybody, start producing money in this, you know.
Hopefully.
Yeah, merchant, how you get social, the economy system that is in America persist, you know, because otherwise we gotta go just living out of the government, which a lot of people might think that is a good idea. just receiving free check every month from the government, but it's not the best idea ever because it proved through the history that, you cannot give that power to the government. You know what I mean? So I have that faith in that optimism that this gonna get solved and we're gonna go out to the streets and he's gonna be playing soccer in the street.
That's a good one.
And having burgers.
Mine is a little bit different, but that's a good one.
So, but the point is that that kind of neighborhoods that are like.
I know. I lived in one like that in Rochelle Park. We moved from that one. It was funny because that one we all knew each other, all the neighbors. We all knew each other, and my right neighbor, we became great friends. He still texts me now, and I sometimes forget to text him, but we still talk to each other every year.
Me too,
on holidays with my neighbors, my old neighbors.
Me too. So, with my childhood friends that message me.
No, but this was recently. Now, when I first my first home that I bought, I never grew up with that.
Okay.
I grew up living in the streets. I lived in an abandoned building with a bed on the floor. The lights were car light.
By yourself?
In the street. My father was never around. My father came around after when I became an adult.
Okay.
My mom was always there for me, but she always worked.
Okay.
And at one point in her life, she moved to Puerto Rico, and I didn't move to Puerto Rico. I stood in New York. So living in New York, back then is different the way parenting is done now. I think child services would have been called on me back then.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because she just went to Puerto Rico and left me with my aunt. And I ended up living in the streets for a while. So I was living in abandoned buildings I remember I had a Doberman Pinscher, and he used to protect rats from biting me when I used to sleep at night.
Sure.
So times were rough.
Exactly.
So I didn't grow up with that. I seen that on TV.
Exactly. So when I was growing up, my first year, I was born in a little town in Venezuela, but my father left, so my mother moved to Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, to live in my grandmother's house with son or uncle, whatever, to support each other because it was easier for her as a single mother right that moment. So we spent there until I was probably 6 or 7 or whatever in Caracas. Then we moved back to the little town because now for my mother it's easier to raise us up, better at school, not living in a little apartment, many people. She can afford a full apartment in Caracas because it's expensive. It's better quality life for us growing up. And she did right. Even though she struggled a lot, she did a hard, good decision to take us to that small town where we can raise in the street playing, how you call it, marbles in the street and trompos and all the shit that you play with your friends, throwing balls to yourself. All those games that you have growing up. I thank my mother all the time for that decision because otherwise I would have been raised in that little apartment when you can go for half an hour a day to a little placita.
That's what I did for my kids.
Exactly. So, but when we got to that town, my mother still hard. So we moved one house to the other house, renting houses all the time. So I was building friendship, then another house, different kind of neighborhood until we moved to this nice neighborhood. And the reason that my mother could afford in that moment is because my grandmother bought a house. My uncles, everybody put money to borrow for my grandmother because she want to move to that town. More relaxed for her, right? She was in that town for like a year. I don't know how long. She said, I don't like this shit. I go back to the city. She liked the craziness of the big city. So she moved back to Caracas and left the house to us to live. So we have to pay the mortgage. So that's how we couldn't afford to buy that kind of house in that kind of neighborhood. But paying just the mortgage, it was an option for us, right? More because it was kind of subsidized by the government somehow. These kind of loans that you pay a lot less than normal you pay, right? So that's how I had the opportunity to grow since I was 10 until I was like 20 something after. I mean, I went to college and all that time. I keep coming back to my home until I moved to America when I was probably 25 or something, right? So that was my home. That was my neighborhood, my friends, my parts that we grew up together, intimate. You had your girlfriend, you no girlfriend, but friends, we went. You grow with all the beauty of childhood.
Correct. I saw that on TV.
But when you see it here in America, some neighborhoods are like that, but some other neighborhood, like I've been where I live right now, I've been in that home for 7 years, and I just know one of my neighbors. And I say hi to him. That's all. We don't come together to each other's house or do. Back in Venezuela, we were all the time in somebody's house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but look, so in Bergen, that's how we was. And when I moved from that house to the house that I'm living in now, I met my neighbor to my left, or old guy, by accident. I met him in the first year. I didn't meet my right neighbors until 5 years later.
Wow.
So for 5 years, I didn't know my right neighbors, nor do I know any of my other neighbors.
Yeah, it's
I know one of my other ones because they called me. You know? Yeah, it's just
people is not used. I think in part of those kind of neighborhoods, maybe I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass as always. I think in part is because in Venezuela, for example, if you don't have sugar, you must say go. Ask la abuelita frente, give you some sugar. So you go with a cup. Hey, can you give me some sugar? My mother bring it back when she buy. Okay, they give you sugar. That kind of commodity, it's
they don't do
in
that
the community. It's so normal there. My neighbors, they have big farms of plantains and stuff because it was a kind of wealthy community. Not everybody, but most of the people was very wealthy. And us, and so they bring like the full tin of plantains, green plantains, to my house, put in the front of the house. America, my mother, here it is. So we never have to buy plantains. And if you need something, whatever, an egg, oh man, just ask this lady there, give you an egg. And then mom bought it here, bring it back. Okay, here's the egg. Thank you. You know what I mean? Or they come to your house. Oh, we need it. That community, man, I love that. I miss it so much since I've been in America.
It's hard to find.
And me being so introverted, even sometimes people think I'm not, but I'm very introverted. Like, it's hard for me to break the line.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say that I gotta go outside and knock somebody's door and say, hi, I live there. You guys ever need anything? That should be so easy, man.
Yeah.
But because I don't feel like it's normal here. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I haven't did it.
Like one of my neighbors the other day were yelling my sister-in-law because she parked in front of his house. But it's where I live, it's just a bunch of houses with a sidewalk. It's not like, big properties with big houses separated or anything like that. It's just there. Nobody owns the front of the street when you park. It's not like it's reserved for that property or anything. It's just a street parking. And it was a party. He was giving a hard time, like, hey, you cannot park there, that's my front, that whatever. Shut up, bitch. That's not your front. That's street. What? You know what I'm saying?
Was it his driveway?
No. Not even blocking driveway. No, that's outside in the street. You know what I mean? Like a random size.
Oh my God.
No touching the sidewalk, no blocking, not even his entrance, anything.
Yeah.
It was just in front where his house is. But that's a street, bro. If you want that kind of privilege, move somewhere where you have that kind of privilege that I'm not getting inside your driveway, not even to make a U-turn or anything.
Yeah.
Outside in the street. And he was giving a hard time. The worst part is that he didn't even come like, listen, sorry, can you move the car? We use the space for my wife. I wanted to park there. I don't want him to,
Yeah.
Probably my sister would say, whatever, I don't care, because she's like all goofy.
Yeah.
But just the arrogance, the fucking, why you have to be like an ass? We never even interact. We never talk. It's not like I do parties in my house, a lot of music, a lot of cars all the time, parking outside, people drinking or smoking. Nothing like
welcome
that.
to New York.
It's nothing like that at all, So I don't feel like going to his house one day with a cake, like, hey, I see here in the movies, it's like with a little basket with something. Hey, I'm the neighbor from there. Welcome to the neighborhood. I don't feel like doing it because it's so different. And also, other thing that I notice here a lot is that where I live is that kind of neighborhood. It's not bad neighborhood. It's everybody. It's calm. It's relaxed. All of that. But you notice how people is kind of moving all the time. So the person that live across my street because they rented a house, but in a year or so they move and somebody come. Yeah. So it's different that you growing with somebody through your whole life, your friend. So that's the other thing. I've been thinking about, I want to move to a little farm outside, relax. People can come and visit. We can cook outside or inside or whatever. Or I want to move to one of those neighborhoods, kind of opposite extremes, just for my kids to grow with friends, with intimate friends.
Better luck with the farm.
You know what I mean? I like the idea, man. A lot.
Mine is
just
I'm planning.
For the peace of mind.
Yeah, I'm planning to go to Boca Raton.
In Florida?
In Florida. So I want to bring, I've been looking for property like to purchase during now, right? So when I plan to retire, go out there and just live out there.
Oh, okay. Retire. Not to just move right now. Sell your
business. That's why people can't do that. You can't do that, man. Hard. Like people tell me that all the time. Like you can't do that. You got responsibilities. You got a life. You can't just up and leave, man. First of all,
why not? Who for the fucking care?
Who's going to pay me for my business?
I mean, you can sell them.
Who's gonna buy it right now?
I don't know. That gym in that location.
Yeah, I know, but
when all the gyms are closing, probably you find somebody that want him.
Still, it's not as easy as
it's not. And
I got the store.
And it's not easy. Like you gotta say, I moved there and run that gym from there.
Correct.
You have to be there. That kind of business also you have.
So
to be
I'm trying to look for something over there where my backyard is part of an inlet where I could park my boat. So my fantasy, well, not my fantasy, my goal within the next 2 or 3 years is purchase a property that, you know, is not big, not a big house, but nice, a little nice yard with a pool, but I could walk onto the boat and be on the inlet. I don't have to worry about
my friend just bought a house like that.
I want that.
My second or third podcast was with him. Stefan Alcantara is a great
That's my
artist. Goal. His house is in a nice neighborhood in Fort Lauderdale. Very calm. I drove there like around 7 p.m. or something. Super calm. Everybody almost sleeping already.
And see, there you get that. Hey, how you doing?
Yes.
Not over here, man. Exactly. Over there, everyone waves. Over here, somebody waves because they waving the finger at you or they're doing something, dude.
For you, it's worse. You're in the city. People is even more accelerating, more crazy than here. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like, I come from a small town in Venezuela. And when I went to college, it was like the city of that state. But it's like... The fucking city was like New Rochelle. I don't know if you're familiar. So it's like a kind of nice city. It's not Bronx that's crazy and messy and loud and more like, but still small, you know.
Yeah.
And it's cold. It's chilled up there in where the city, where the university was that I went to. There, if you take a bus, you get in the bus and you say good morning. Everybody say good morning to you, and it's when you see for a little bit, you're like, this shit is crazy, but it's normal.
Yeah.
So next person that get in the bus say good morning, everybody say good morning. And next person get in the bus and say good morning, everybody say good morning. So you're repeating good morning through all your fucking route to college or whatever you're going. You know what I mean? But it's that people cares about that, you know. People cares about you know, the human contact, you know. And I don't know, some people it's stress, it's hard, some days it's, you know, you're wrong, you see a frowny face or whatever.
Yeah.
But in overall, everybody's still like, okay, bye. You know, like you know, those little things, man.
Yeah, it counts.
The thing that they don't matter, I miss them a lot.
Yeah.
You know, from Venezuela.
That's hard to find.
And of course, somebody will say there, go back, fucker. No. It's not about that, man. This country is fucking beautiful and gorgeous and they allow for us. It's just about getting a little bit of that positive thing.
Yeah, positive. Missing, correct.
You know?
Correct. Yeah. You find it. It's just, and that's why I said your surroundings, right? So when you find those individuals that are like that, you just stay surrounded by that. So you stay around those positive people. But we live in a world that's more negative than positive, man.
That what we were saying earlier, man. The news, the media, just trying always to portray what is the worst that's happening. Man, if you watch the news for a period of an hour or something, or if you start scrolling in the news in your phone for 1 hour, hardly you're gonna start finding like, oh, that cure to that disease, or the new art shows that are happening, or this kid got successful out of their.
There's nothing positive.
Everything is fucking like, oh, the world gonna end. Yeah. Look up, the bomb's coming down on you. You know,
go get your 5th vaccine.
Now they're talking about a 3rd one, and you know what I mean, like a booster or whatever every 4 months or something. It's like, correct. Really?
Yeah.
How much money you really to make out of my fucking pocket? Brother, what else you want to tell me before we leave?
Yeah, man. No, thank you for having me aboard. You know, I want to just tell people who are interested in becoming an entrepreneur, make sure this is the right thing you want to do. Give it 100%. Again, when you're opening your first business, like you said, you know, you want to use your money. You don't want to owe anyone. And even if you get into debt, but it's your personal debt, opening that business. And then when you open up your second one, make sure you do a lot of research and study, which I did a lot of research and study on the restaurant. I just didn't take a lot of advice on how much work it was going to take. I was looking more of the outcome of how much money it could bring. But I am putting I'm putting the work into it. So once it brings that money, I earned it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know, I earned it.
Every advice I give to people, please take it as a point of view that is what I know now. Is not set on stones. Correct. You know what I mean? So if I said to people, you should find something important for you that make you happy and trying to pursue it as a career.
Yeah, because
do it. Because you spend so many hours fucking working that you'd rather do something that you please.
So the thing with the gym is that I tell people I'm there from 5 a.m. to 12 a.m.
But you love that shit. You love the gym. You love the people.
So I don't feel it. I'm in my gym now. It's funny because I told Jess, I'm taking tomorrow off. And that means I'm only working one job.
Yes.
Right? So she's like, yo, it's funny because I'm taking tomorrow off means I already just worked 10 hours in my gym and I'm not going to work another 8 hours in the store. So that's my day off. Right? But I tell her, but it's really a day off because those 10 hours, I enjoy it.
Yes.
I love doing that. So when you figure out what you love doing, That's the occupation I feel like people should go 100% in, opening up if they want to be an entrepreneur into that, because they love doing it no matter what. So you don't care how much money you invest or how much time you invest, because you're so in love with like nail stylists, tattoo artists, right? Yeah. I wouldn't get into investing in tattoos because that's not something I love doing all day, right? You love doing that all day. That's why you're successful in that. So I try to tell people, find out what it is that you love, because everyone don't want to be a trainer. Everyone don't want to be a tattoo artist. But also I try to tell people, make sure it's something that's achievable.
Yes.
Because don't come up with a dream, I'm going to be the best rapper. I'm going to be the best basketball player. I'm going to be the best boxer. Yeah. Yes, there is. But those occupations is 1 in a million, dude. Like, that's so much harder. I'm not telling people don't go for it.
And still rapid is easier than basketball. Because if you live 5'4" like me, I measure 5'7" or something, and 44. I'm already against all my odds. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already fucked. If I right now I'm gonna quit everything to be a basketball player because I have a dream, and somebody told me you have a dream, go for it because you're gonna get. Good luck with that shit.
And what I tell people also, another thing I want to end it with. As well as much as you take, right? Because we take a lot from this world. We take advantage of a lot of things. You got to give back.
Yes.
Right? So the way I give back, I'm a 100% volunteer firefighter. So I do that, and I just do water rescues now. So I give back on the part of, I'm not getting paid to run into a house right now that's burning on. And I hate.
And you're risking your life.
And I hate fire.
Imagine that.
I hate fire. I'm scared of drowning. And I hate heights. But I do all those 3. I don't know why. Probably nuts, right? And I do it for free, right? Because I do it because I found out living in the state of New Jersey that 85% of Jersey firefighters are volunteers. Wow. So if I expect a man to run into my house for free to save me and my family, I think I could do the same thing for somebody else's family. So that's me giving back.
Yes.
You know, and I love that world. You know, I love that rush, that adrenaline, you know, those things like training that I did 2 weeks ago, you know, learning how to drive a boat, doing 30 miles per hour with another boat and marrying it on, you know, that's things that I love doing. You know, it's fun, but it's volunteer, but it's also something that I'm helping, giving back, but it's also something that I enjoy. So again, I'm giving back, giving something that I love doing. Go back. If you love reading, go help kids read, you know, give back some way, somehow, once you do become.
Good, man. What is your Instagram?
Instagram is X93Fitness. That's the gym, and my grocery with my wife. That's Essential Groceries.
Essential is just with the X, no?
Yeah, X. No, so it's the way you spell it is X Xavier, right? X SSENTIAL Grocery. And that's Essential Grocery, located on Union City, New Jersey.
Man. Brother, thank you for coming by.
Thank you, man, for having me.
We'll possibly do this another time. Maybe one day we'll do it in Spanish. So people can also that just speak Spanish, pick your brain too, man. Thank you, brother.
All right.
Thank you for the friendship too, man.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate you, man.
Likewise.
Good luck with all of that stuff, man.
Yes.
I'm sure you're happy that Cuomo is.
Oh man, I know he is out of there. But you know, it's funny because I don't wish, you know,
we don't
bad on anyone. But I'm so happy he is gone. The thing is, dude, he has destroyed so many families.
The thing is not to wish bad to anybody. That the thing is to wish somehow. I don't know if that's a little rough, but it's karma. It's to wish to people to do so bad to pay for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what we ask.
He got karma.
So if you abuse somebody,
he abused his authority.
Yes,
he abused his authority. But you know, and again, the strong will always survive, right? That's what I try to tell people. Don't worry about tomorrow, man. If you're a strong survivor today, you'll get by tomorrow because all you know is just to survive.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Tomorrow, let tomorrow worry about it.
Awesome, man.
You know?
Let's call the day with that.
All right, brother.
Thank you, Chris.
All right.
I appreciate you, man.
Likewise.